Welcome to the Ann Lynn Show. On today's show, we welcome back Ari, 55. We really love Ari. He is an incredible musician. He's a retired locomotive engineer, and he is a sky watcher. But first, here are Ann and Lynn. Get your dance on, because we're going to rock out today, aren't we, Lynn?
We are, Ann.
We are rocking out today and celebrating early Valentine's, because we'll miss Valentine's.
Yeah.
When we come on next Wednesday. Ooh, gotta get my scarf back there. And we have a great guest today. Oh,
Who
my
is it, Ann? Who is it, Ann?
Oh, we have Ari 55 waiting. Oh,
Yeah.
It's going to be a wonderful show. Well, we got to dance a minute. Got to get ready, because we're going to be dancing with Ari.
Oh, yes. We'll be
Dancing with Ari.
And we'll be dancing.
Yep. Get your groove on.
Welcome. Welcome, Barefoot Lass. Hello there. Mwah.
Oh, well, we'll get ready for the major.
Hey. Yep, you ready?
Ready.
Salute. Hello, Major.
And
Come
hello
on
to
in,
you out
everyone.
there watching right now on
Yep,
Facebook.
come on in.
We are watching on Twitter, and we're watching on YouTube. Woo!
I shared it on my
Facebook.
Yep, I sure did.
Well, hello, Facebook. Hello, Facebook.
Hello there. Hi, friends and family at Facebook.
Yes,
Whoop, whoop.
we have family and friends at Facebook.
That's right.
And
One of my friends is going to go live on Facebook today. Woohoo!
She is?
He is. He is a musician, and he's going to be interviewed about. He does music for Christian movies. So, hi, Marie.
Wonderful.
Hello, Marie.
Hello, Marie. Wonderful. I'm so glad everybody is here today. We do have a wonderful guest, Ari 55. We call him our Renaissance man because he just does it all. He's had an incredible life. And so we're going to talk to him in just a few minutes. Lynn, what have you got for us at the top of the show?
Well, I just want to tell everyone a good early happy Valentine's Day on Monday. It's on Monday. That's right.
Yes,
Hi, Grace and Fire.
Hi, Gracie.
You know, I'm enjoying all of the videos from all of our favorite channels, aren't you, Ann?
Yes, I am. There's so many of them now.
She had a wonderful video this week, and
yes,
Grace and Fire. It's so exciting to see what she's up to. One never knows.
One never knows. I know, it's amazing.
Hi, hon.
Hello, sweetie. Grand. Mommy kisses. Mommy kisses. Mommy kisses. Yes. Well,
Hey, we've got to come see you pretty soon. One of these days, just give me a shout out, and we'll be on with what he used to say. I'll be there with bells and something on. I've forgotten. It's been so long since I've said that, but we'll be there with bells on.
Okay, bells on. Well, I have a mystery. Do you believe I have Lisa Arho?
Yes,
Hi,
Lisa. Yes.
Welcome, Lisa. I have a mystery. This was on top of my mail the other day.
Oh.
In my mailbox.
Oh.
It's pretty. And it is so pretty. I have no clue who gave it to me or left it. I don't know if the mailman left it.
I don't know if did the major leave it.
Somebody left this for real. This is a true story. I have a mystery. So I guess I have a secret admirer, I suppose.
Well, you're loved, Ann. You're
I
just
guess I'm
loved.
loved. I don't know
Rob
who
G.
by, but
Rob G is here. Shalom, Rob G. Shalom, brother. Hallelujah.
hello, shalom,
Yes.
shalom.
Thank
So
you.
glad
Peace,
that you're
peace,
here.
and yeah, peace.
I
Yes.
So I have a feeling it's from the little boy across the street. I'm gonna text his mom and find out.
Yes.
But it was really funny because it was just laying in the mailbox and on top of my letters in the mail. So I thought, well, that's very interesting.
Well, I know that your
Whoops.
little neighbor children. Oops.
I know. I
Oops.
knocked over my. There we go. Well, I
What
wasn't.
happened there?
I knocked over my. Well, that's not going to stand up.
Well,
Well,
hey,
anywho,
can I show something to you?
absolutely.
And you didn't know this. You see this right here?
Uh-huh.
You can hang it up. It says love.
Yes.
Our mother painted this.
Oh, she did, and in her arts and craft little.
Yeah, in her arts and crafts.
Wonderful.
So she said, bring it home. So I put it with all the pictures of my family. So there, love.
How sweet! How sweet!
Yeah.
Well,
And
listen.
and the other one that her roommate did is on their door.
Oh.
So I guess it didn't need two of them.
No. Oh, how sweet! Well, let's bring in. We don't want to wait any longer now.
No, we don't.
Oh, I got one thing to say. We will be on Country Mama Musings channel on Monday, Valentine's Day, at 2 p.m. Eastern. We'll be on with Alicia, and we'll be doing, I don't know, it's going to be a rapid fire questions. We're getting interviewed. So if you don't know Country Mama Musings, you're really missing out. She was live earlier today, and she is so much fun. She's the opposite of Ari. Their lives have been so full, and she's a storyteller. She can tell, but they're true life stories. She told today about her grandparents, and she's just a very, very interesting woman, and we call her a good YouTube friend. And so anyhow, we'll be there on Monday. Country Mama Musings. Please go over there and show her some love. Tell her you heard about her through us.
And sub to her channel. And before you bring Ari on, yes, I've been laughing and tickled because of Becky. Becky Benton says, "Happy Stupid Cupid Day." How's this, Becky?
I've got mine too. I've got mine back there. So we'll probably be wearing them. I don't know if I want to wear my crown. See, she's a former country mama. Alicia's a former beauty queen. So I may have to wear my crown. So
that's right.
Yeah,
really,
she's got big crowns.
Contest.
She has big crowns. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Without further ado, the guest of the Ann Lynn Show today is Ari55, and I know he's going to rock us in. So turn your music up there, Ari. Get it loud. Here we go. Woohoo! Turn mine up.
Are you dancing with us?
Welcome, Becky Benton.
Becky, is it funny to see two old grannies rocking out?
We can have fun. There's no reason why we can't have fun.
That's right.
We might be old, but we are fun.
We know how to rock. Yeah. Rock on.
I actually think I dance better now than I did when I was in high school.
Well, I don't.
Well, I never was very good. So the bar it was pretty low.
Every Friday and Saturday night, I would dance for probably 7 hours. So I was pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty young.
Yeah. Youth has a lot to do with it. I can't do it for very long. Welcome,
Yes, thank you,
Ari.
Ari.
Oh, it's good to be here. Good to see you guys.
Good to see you. We've got to do a coffee in. We got to do our coffee, Clinklin.
Oh,
Yeah.
I have it.
Well, I've got a Coke.
Okay,
Oh,
that's
I like
great.
Coke.
Well, welcome everybody. Get
Welcome,
your
welcome.
drinks. Woo! Get your drinks.
Oh, some
Yep,
water too.
coffee. I'm drinking decaf.
So am I. I just made a half a pot of decaf.
This is a McDonald's little. Wow, it's so good. Ari, what's been up with you, my friend?
Well, it's been so cold lately. So everything I like to do, which is go out and watch the sun come up, or, and watch the sun go down and watch the sky, is so cold. It's like my camera almost breaks trying to work. And the camera is worth right now it costs me $1,500 to replace it.
Yeah.
And so I'm out there operating in temperatures, 30 degrees below the operating temperatures of this piece of equipment. And so it's amazing I can still even make it work, but I can hear the little bitty motor in there just grinding away, trying to move this.
Well, how cold is it?
Well, it was below zero wind chill factors.
Oh,
and it was so cold that my fingers went numb a couple times, and I had to just put everything down and go warm up again.
yeah.
But it's always the best shots. It seemed to appear when it's either brutally cold or just so hot you can't stand to be out there. But
Right.
it's either or. It's never is a nice, beautiful day to go out and take pictures.
Wow.
Well, I heard just a little bit ago that let's see, I don't want to say his name. Very famous EM lost some satellites today due to, I guess, a CME.
Really?
And like 40 of them out of 49.
I believe
And
it.
Right.
yeah, I bet that was a sight to see.
Well, they when they come in, at first they just look like they're another airplane going across the sky, but it's going way up there and further out, and it's like the only way you can really tell is to blow it up 125 times with a good camera, and then put it on a computer. And then you can see there's something there that's, I've caught a satellite going out of the sky.
Wow.
There's so many of them now.
Oh, yeah.
I don't, where we're at in upstate New York now, I don't know. It's kind of weird because sometimes the moon is like on one side. I look out and the moon's like at my kitchen window, and directly opposite. Sometimes it'll be directly. I know it's the way that the earth is rotating.
Yes.
But, it's funny, but these two bright lights in the sky, one of them must be Jupiter, and the other one may be Mars. I'm not sure. They're always in the same place.
All right.
Right.
Right now in the morning sky, Venus is so bright.
Venus.
Mars, and Mars is right next to it, but I can't even see Mars. But Jupiter is in the evening. You'll see Jupiter real good in the evening.
So then I'm seeing Jupiter and probably Mars, maybe.
Yeah, well, it'd be Saturn is another planet. It's right behind Jupiter, but it's so Jupiter usually stands out the brightest in the evening, besides the moon. Yeah,
very
and Venus is usually standing out in the mornings.
Okay, well, I know it's to me it's fascinating how we're on this ball and it's moving, and the moon will be over there and be big and full one night, and then over here.
If you watch those cycles like this for 40 years or more, you'll begin to notice that it just keeps coming around the same way over and over, and nothing new under the sun except for satellites falling out of the sky.
And so many, you don't know what is a star and what's a satellite anymore because there are so many. And then so anyhow, so you have been taking great videos, pictures, movies, videos, and putting them up on YouTube. How long have you been on YouTube now?
I started in, I don't know, it was probably about 2008, but I didn't get started till, Marfugel, basically helped me a lot. It's still the Marfugel family. That's mostly the ones that have started watching me, and I've got plenty of others. It's not Marfugal group, but
Right.
uh, they're just regular, like people like everybody else likes to watch videos, and I
Yeah.
make videos
Yes.
to that people want to watch. To me, I make videos like I like to watch. So that's the way you see it. Um, I like to get right to the point. It's like I don't have no intros. You'll see I don't never hardly have an intro. It's just me starting, which is fine. You guys want intros? It's fine for you, but me,
Mhm.
I'm the guy that flips through everything, just gets right to the point. Yeah,
We
I,
have
I
a,
don't
a
I don't mess around. If you say you ain't going to be going on for 3 minutes, I ain't going to be seeing you for 3 minutes from now.
We've got a question from Becky. She says,
right.
do you think that some of the meteor showers are satellite debris?
Could be, yeah.
Yeah,
Could
it's
be. It
probably
could be a
hard to
lot. Yeah.
tell.
Yeah. Well, like I said, once you see them going by, a lot of people discount these objects because they look like airplanes, and the airplanes to me are trying to mimic a lot of these objects. So the only way you can tell is to take a picture of everything sometimes, and then all of a sudden you'll see which ones are which.
Mhm.
And I do put pictures of airplanes and some videos once in a while just to give people something to gripe about, because there's some of them that just they will point that out. No, you just got nothing but airplanes. Well, you ain't watched the video then, I guess. But
Um,
you gotta give something for the trolls to go after. So
that's right. That's right. Speaking of airplanes, Ari, the other night, I'm just trying to think if it was Monday night. Let's see, Monday night or Sunday night. Anyways, cameraman and I were coming home, and he mentioned something. He had his cataracts removed several years ago, and up until then, he was born with cataracts. He had never seen it rain. He had never seen raindrops,
wow,
and no, not individual. And he'd
yeah,
never seen leaves on the tree,
mm,
not individual. They were just green.
right,
And anyways, he had never seen individual clouds, so
right,
he's really kind of become he
sure,
watches the sky because it's so amazing now,
hmm
and but the other night we were coming home, and he mentioned something about a plane, and we looked up, and sure enough you could see a small trail, and
hmm
then over to the right there was a plane with a small trail. And I was saying, we know those are airplanes because they have
hmm
just that exhaust, small
hmm
exhaust.
Contrail. Hmm.
Thank you. But there's other times we look up in our sky,
hmm
and oh my gosh, there are dozens and dozens of trails, if you know what I mean.
I know. Yeah, and
Going,
that's what I'm saying. There is the deception going on to me is that I live 30 miles from an international airport in Kansas City, and I also
okay,
live about 30 miles from the flight path of Whitman Air Force Base. So I get all sorts of craft in my sky. I've got an airline tracker I can see, but there's a lot of airlines that don't. I mean, a lot of these airplanes are blocked. They don't tell you who it is. They don't tell you what it is, and uh, and then there's some that's not even on there. So uh,
Hey,
you can figure that out. But
have
yeah.
you noticed? Have you watched it internationally by any chance? Your airplane tracker?
hmm well, just basically, I only. Oh, you mean is the airline flights
Correct.
international? Yeah, they track any airline coming in and out of international airports or going to even to the Whitman Air Force Base, but they don't usually let you know too much there.
Well, do you just do your area? You don't go and look
Right.
at.
Well, it only
Okay.
lets you see within your area
Oh,
62
I see.
miles. Anything
I
within
see.
62 miles, which is a long ways away. I just took a picture of an airplane going into Kansas City. That's 30 something miles away. And there was some kind of craft that went over the top of this airline. And to me, both of those craft look suspectful anyway, because the sun's been down, and I could barely even make my camera do what it was doing, which was picking up an object 30 miles away.
Hmm.
And you could see this thing ain't a flock of birds. One person said it was a flock of birds. I said, no, it ain't a flock of birds. I wouldn't waste 5 minutes on a flock of birds. But it's like I blew it up on the computer, and you could see it's some kind of craft.
Hmm.
I had a
Well,
UFO guy on YouTube. He wants it. He used it today. In fact, he put it out a few hours ago. He wanted to use it, and I said, "Go right at it, buddy."
Right.
well,
You know.
who was he? Or
Um,
do you feel like
well, his
saying?
name is Mavi 777 UFO, something like that.
Okay.
Um,
And he saw yours.
right.
Yeah.
He's used a couple of mine before.
Oh, how cool.
Oh, if you look in the sky long enough, you will get these unidentified crafts. UAPs.
Yeah,
Aerial
the new.
phenomena, whatever you
Mm-hmm.
want to call it. To me, it's just it could be our government at work. It could be an alien force at work. It could be demons. I've heard it all.
Right. Right.
I've studied it all for many years. It's like I can only tell you what I captured is unknown to me.
Right.
Yeah.
It didn't make itself known to me other than the pictures.
We could show some of your
Well,
videos. Would you like
before
that?
we before we
Sure.
do,
Uh-huh.
Major has asked a question. He said,
Okay.
"Can we ask Ari, what inspires your enthusiasm for music?"
Oh, great question.
That's a
Yeah.
good question.
It was instilled into me a long time ago in church. Probably is where it started.
Wow.
Uh, yeah, I was going to church. My mother and my dad, my grandmother,
Mhm.
all the family around me made me go to church. Not necessarily what I wanted to do every Sunday and every Wednesday, but every Wednesday, every time the doors would open on the church, I was there. And
Yep.
revivals, it was
Yep.
just my life for many years. But they always
Yes.
brought in these musicians, classical musicians at that too sometimes. And that was where my interest really got to grow, was in music and narration of themes. Or I was a narrator at a younger age. And also my pastor would call me to pray in front of our church, and I'm like, I don't want to pray in front of the whole church. I'm a kid, leave me alone. But when you pray to God long enough, your prayers are answered. He's going
Yes.
to use you. And but that's where my mother made me take piano lessons. So there's another reason I probably learned music. But
Mhm.
Do you still play the piano?
no, I'm not no good at it. My brother, well, I can only add pieces of a piano to a piece of music maybe, but I can't sit down and play a piece of music. I just don't have the patience for it. Uh,
Yeah.
and my brother, he can listen to one note played across the room and tell you exactly what it is and what pitch, and
Yes.
and he can sit here and hear one song and play it again. I'm amazed at his ability, but he probably amazed at my guitar ability. But I
Yes.
don't know. He don't never tell me.
Well, when
But
did you pick the guitar up?
1977, I bought a guitar. I went and bought an electric guitar. That's what really changed my life, probably just for that one decision that says, I'm going to go buy me an electric guitar and an amp.
Uh-huh.
And it was $1,000 at that time. In 1977, that was a
Oh
major,
man.
major expense.
Wow.
It was
Yes.
like I had to
Absolutely.
take out a loan, and nobody wanted to loan a 17-year-old kid money.
Right.
Uh, and my dad wouldn't give me no money, that much. And I did find somebody loaned me the money, evidently, but high interest rates. But the
Uh-huh.
guitar teacher that instructed me, he told me that he had a friend on the railroad that they were hiring. I'm like, never even thought about the railroad, but here it is. The guitar teacher got me to quit my job in Edmond, Oklahoma, and moved to Alliance, Nebraska to start railroading. Just because I felt like I needed a guitar and an amp.
I hear Lynn's phones are ringing. Do you need to get it, Lynn?
No, I'm hoping that the reason cameraman is not here right now, he's out doing some business for us. So I had to get it. I'm sorry.
No problem. Well, let's show. Ari sent me some videos to show, and I'm going to bring them up. The first one we'll talk about is Elwood Blues, and you can tell us all about that. Let me go ahead and get that up here.
Okay.
And you want to tell us what we're going to see here, Ari?
You're gonna get to see some pictures from this train that pulled into Fort Madison, Iowa, and on the rear they had this private car, which was Elwood Blues or Dan Aykroyd, and
Wow.
uh, and so I I didn't know there was anybody back there, but I just wanted to take the pictures of the car because it was a classy, rebuilt. A lot of money went into rebuilding that car, first off.
Hmm.
And I said, man, whoever owns this car has got lots of money. Of course, and Dan Aykroyd back there, I didn't even know he's there. But I walked back, I walked back there, and I'm starstruck because I look up and I'm like, oh, that's Elwood Blues, because I was always into Elwood Blues, and it was
Oh, I
fun.
love the Blues Brothers
Oh,
too. Well,
it
I'll
was.
just it will show the video here. Here we go.
Okay, here we go.
Nominated for 18 awards, received 3. He's been in 77 movies, 28 TV shows. He's in 5 video games. He's had 13 guest appearances on Saturday Night Live. He's on Canada's Walk of Fame. He's got an Emmy. He's an honorary doctorate of literature. He's a member of Order of Canada, Order of Ontario, and one of the world's most popular entertainers. I met him on his way one day, Fort Madison, Iowa. I couldn't sleep, so I got up and was restless and went down to the railroad station. I saw this Amtrak train was there with this car on the end of it. I was just interested in the car at first because I have never seen that particular car on the train. So I started taking some pictures. I come around to the end and I see this guy and I go, well, that kind of looks like old Elwood Blues. I'm going, well, that is Elwood Blues. Man, I couldn't believe it. I asked him, can I take some pictures of you, man? I said, I really like the car you have here. It's really nice. And he's talking to me about his trip here today he had a partner with him. And I told him I was a locomotive engineer on the railroad, that I've run up and down that railroad that his car is representing, GM&O. And, you know, he was wanting to talk some more, but it was time for his train to depart. I said, thank you for letting me take some pictures. Very gracious.
Wow.
As I was walking away, I heard him tell his friend there, now that's a hoghead, which is what they call old engineers, I guess. On my travels on the railroad, got to meet Dan Aykroyd, a.k.a. Elwood Blues. He carried his harmonica in his briefcase.
Wow.
Oh, That is so cool.
I thought I better get that story out before I forget it. You know,
Oh,
Oh, that
you
is
know what?
so cool.
You start taking digital pictures from that was over 10 years ago. You
mhm.
know, it was so I have to dig back, which I use Google Photos, which is helps me organize my photos in a better fashion than I've ever would myself. But I can go back all my photos that I've had on, published. They're in there.
Oh, that is cool. Now, was that the name on the side of his car, the
Right.
Tequila Express?
Right.
Right.
That was one of the sponsors. They all want to put their sponsors on anything that
Oh,
they got if they're going to be going up and down the country like that. But
Right.
he probably made money off that too for sure.
Oh,
But
sure.
it was an old railroad that's not even there no more. The GM&O. It was bought out by the ICG or the IC Illinois Central, and then the Southern Pacific came along. That's where I got in on the railroad. The Southern Pacific came along and bought their way into Chicago. So they needed some engineers right now to run from Chicago to uh, Kansas City, or they ran from Chicago all the way to LA. But my leg would have been from Chicago to Quincy, Illinois.
Wow.
do you
Wow.
keep in contact with any of your old railroad friends?
They're all dead, probably. No, no, nah, I don't dare. I had enough of them for 25 years.
So no is the
Okay.
answer is
Is
no.
Well, they have zero interest in what I do, so
we,
Oh, did you
well,
want?
mhm.
Go ahead, Lynn.
Well, Becky, you mentioned Ari, you are from Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yep,
she Becky is from Oklahoma,
yep,
and her husband used to work at Edmond, Oklahoma.
yep. She probably
So
knows about the
Huga
Ralston. She
Homestead.
probably knows the Ralston Purina dog factory there, dog food factory I worked at.
okay,
I worked
um,
at Ralston Purina for years there.
we cameraman and I we lived in a little place called Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, while he
Right,
went to Bible school there.
right.
So, yep.
And I lived right outside of that town, you know, and I lived right there in Broken Arrow for a little while too. At
Is
Tulsa, yeah, I lived
yeah,
all around Tulsa.
in that we it's a small world, isn't it,
I
Ari?
it is, it is. You
Well,
never
I
know.
lived in Liberty, Missouri.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's
Well,
Yeah.
right there at
I go to
Kansas
Liberty
City.
a lot. That's the closest area that I live to that's got major shopping centers. So
Wow.
Yeah, right there by yeah,
it's
everything
one of
is
the
there.
that and Independence, or it's a toss up
Indi-
between Liberty or Independence.
Independence has the mall. I
Yeah,
like going down there. It had this
but
big shopping mall.
you ought to
And
see the
that but there's a lot of shopping though over by the airport down
right.
that way.
They've
Yeah.
been working on the roads so bad lately. They've changed up so much that it's almost like you got to find a different route to go where you used to go.
Oh.
But they dug up all those intersections and started putting the roundabouts in. You know,
Hmm. Yes.
Oh, they
and
did that a lot around by Lynn too.
I heard that
Yeah.
was
Yes.
mainly for a control issue. They can control the blockage of the roads easier and faster. By
I believe that too
by
because
you can just shut one entrance off, and you know.
yeah, you just
Oh yeah.
block it all. I wanted to say hello to Huga Homestead is here.
Yes.
Huga.
Hi. Oh, it's
So happy you're here today. Um,
absolutely,
but
absolutely.
yeah, I was lost kind of lost my train of thought. But yeah, Liberty is real nice. And it was kind
Yeah.
of, oh, I know what I was going to say. Um, so when we lived there, we needed a new living room, little table for your living room, cocktail table. And
Mm.
so we went to the local furniture store and they said, well, you'll have to go to the warehouse and pick it up, And we're like, well, that's not a problem because they didn't have them right there in the store. So they told us, gave us the directions. And so we ended up in an underground
Right.
warehouse.
I know.
It was
The big one.
it was like scary and fantastic and like amazing. So you go down, you get off the expressway, you just turn off the
Mhm.
road there,
Right.
and then they have an entrance you had to stop at and show them your bill of sale that you
Right.
were going to the warehouse for that
Yeah.
store. And they just said now, like, like go down so many of those columns, that are under you count your columns and then
Yeah.
you'll see it. Well, the whole time you're in the tunnel, I took a video of it because it was so fascinating. And I'm like, this is worth buying that table for, to go down here in the cave and
It
see.
is.
And you hear big turbines going
Right.
the whole
The
time. Big.
exhaust.
Oh
Uh-huh.
yeah, big turbine. And then so you go back in there and then all of a sudden it looks like you're in the parking lot of like a real store,
I know.
right?
I know.
It,
It's weird.
and then over down here, like, down that way, there would be another one, different. There was all these different businesses down underground, you guys. And
I know.
it's all throughout Missouri, aren't they? All
Oh,
throughout
yeah.
Missouri.
We
Uh,
got a big conglomerate of where I'm sitting right now. My house and 40 acres is sitting on about, I almost have about 50 acres out here. It's sitting on top of limestone. So underneath, I'm probably sitting on a big cave underneath me. Who knows? But
Yes.
it's like everywhere you go around here, there's caves.
yes,
Uh, and
warehouses. Just
right.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
I have you ever heard of the deep underground military bunkers?
yeah, yes, of them. Yeah,
Mhm.
I
yeah.
think that's part of it there, but
I
you're just
probably
seeing part of the entrance that you probably ain't gonna get any further than, you know.
Right.
right,
Right.
but we went for like a long way in
Oh
there.
yeah, yeah,
I mean,
it's amazing.
way,
It's
way,
amazing.
yeah. And you could see where I mean, you could see as far as you could see. It was like mind blowing. As far
They've
as
got
you could see was a
they've
tunnel.
got all the major stores in this area that store their foods and stuff down there. All the major foods of everything that's been, they want to
Yeah,
keep longer than a few months. It's
Mhm.
right.
down there.
Isn't
Well,
that amazing? Oh,
there is talk that you could go from coast to coast.
Oh yeah, I believe it.
So, we'll leave it
There
at
was
that.
one night out here, Ann Lynn, that I know they were underground drilling under me or close by because all I kept hearing was this low rumbling sound. And I worked on around engines for a long time. I can tell when there's big machinery going on.
mhm.
And there was no trains going by. So I know I ruled that off right away. There was no airplanes going over. But I could feel my vibration going through the windows even. It was causing the window panes to actually
Right.
vibrate. And I went down and told my wife, she goes, "You're just crazy." I'm like, "Okay, that's it."
No, I've
We're
heard of stories. I've heard people talk about that,
Oh, yeah.
even, on YouTube. You hear a lot of
Yeah.
that, that.
Well, until you actually and it drove me crazy. For days, I kept hearing this sound like it was a low, rumbling, grinding sound, and deep underneath. It wasn't just close to the surface, but it was close enough. And like I said, I live on a a p a hill of, limestone. So, here I am out there running up down this gravel road trying to stop. I would stop every once in a while, and I would listen, and I don't hear it no more. And I would drive back closer to my house, and I would hear it again.
Right.
And I couldn't hear it at a certain point; it would be gone. But I could never get my wife to confirm because she just kept denying to me that I was crazy. And I
Well,
like, whatever. I am crazy probably, but I'm
well,
telling you, I'm hearing this and I see it, and I know it
Yeah.
ain't a train or a plane, and
right.
there's no trucks going by. I live in the country, so whatever it is, they went by. It took them about 3 days, and I finally didn't hear it no more. But
Wow.
that
My
was,
God.
they enlarged their tunnel system. It was
Mhm.
a big one.
Well, it can be that that your wife could not hear those low
That's
tones
true.
too,
That's true.
because
And yeah,
I have a hard time with cameraman,
for
I
sure.
mean, because he has a low
Yeah,
voice.
yeah.
Even with my hearing aids on, I still have it, so I think, that perhaps she absolutely could not. I mean, now she could have seen the vibration on the window, but
Mhm.
she
Right.
probably was
Well,
not hearing what you
well,
were hearing.
well, it was like if it's like 2 or 3 in the morning,
Yes.
it was what was weird. It would only start up around 11 o'clock at night, and it would keep going all night long, and then it
Right.
would ease up around 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock in the morning.
Well, that's your third shift. So
Right,
that's
and
that
so,
they'll do it
but
at night.
I
Yeah.
kept hearing that for about 3 nights in a row. I mean, I'm laying in bed trying to get to sleep, and I'm
Right.
like, "Oh, there's something going on here."
Well,
Well,
Grace and Fire is here, and she'll about 10 years ago or so, she and I and our mother and Ann and my mother went on a little trip together, the three of us,
Mhm.
and we happened to get into a hotel room, and now we could all hear it. It was a ho, and the
Yeah,
room
yeah,
shook, and
yeah.
so we had to actually change rooms, But they said no one had ever, mentioned it. It's like,
Right, right,
really?
right. If you
I
live
know.
in a city long enough, you become used to the noise, you know?
Absolutely.
But if you live in the country like I have most of my life, anything out of the ordinary, you're gonna begin to
Pick
hear it.
up.
I can hear airplanes going over my house, 3 miles up, going to land in Kansas City if I
Mhm.
really listen for it. I can
Right.
hear engines, let's see, about 8 miles away going up, I can hear them. I can
You
hear
can
them
hear 'em.
coming up. Oh, yeah.
Oh, I was going to say where I live now, it's about 20 miles from here. Ann and I had an aunt and uncle, and their property, he said he would never sell it to people with children because
Mhm.
because we live in where I'm at, we have a great cave system
Right,
also throughout
right,
our entire state, and he would never sell to children with children because the back of their property has so many sinkholes.
right.
So,
Well,
he
it's the
was always,
ones, yeah, it's
yeah,
the ones that you're not gonna be aware of that's gonna open up. That's the
yes,
ones you better be scared of, yeah, but
mhm,
it's the ones you can see, that's just the edge of it, you know?
right.
What bothers me, the more I think about it, I've seen some caverns, they like the top of the hill is the only place that's not ate away yet. So I think, well, here I am on top of the rock of a hill. It might be being eaten away underneath, but I'm all right. I don't feel the earth shake too much yet, but
No telling what's under our feet, anyways.
well,
Oh,
that's why you just got to believe God and not in
trust.
we
That's
are
right.
so I mean there's so much that goes on that we are unaware of, and I thank God that I don't know because I don't think we could handle it. I think
That's
there's so
right.
much goes on all around us, but we are protected.
Yes, we are.
God protects us and keeps us from all of that because Bible says we are under his wing, under the shadow of the
Right.
Almighty. So we're under his wing of protection because we have to be protected because there is so much stuff going on. So Ari, you're under God's wing and he's protecting you
That's right.
from all
that's right.
harm where you live out there.
Absolutely.
We just have to believe that. And I do believe that. So
That's right.
um I
I have a question.
okay.
Oh, Shastina, hello, welcome.
Hi,
Hi.
Shastina.
I have a question, Anne and Ari. What time is it?
Oh,
Is it snack time?
I think
is
so.
it snack time?
Come on, everyone out there, get your
Okay.
snack.
Ta-ta!
Ta-da.
Ta-ta!
What
It
do
is
you all
snack.
have?
What you got there, Ari? We'll let Ari go first.
I've just got a little bit of let me see if I can get it in the camera.
I'm gonna take the background off.
It's just
There we go.
a piece of
Oh,
German chocolate cake.
oh,
Oh, German chocolate cake. What do you got,
I
wow.
Lynn?
I, I buy nothing but chocolate these days. I don't know why.
Oh,
Be
see,
mine. That's a good one for
that's a
Valentine's Day.
good
Be
one. You got
mine.
well,
Cameraman went to our local bakery today.
I'm being good. I have strawberries and some apples from yesterday.
Oh, you're no fun. God dang.
Well,
Ah,
I am trying to
I
do
know you.
better.
Have you been eating greens and stuff?
Well, did you see
mhm.
I did the
Yeah,
Go Green
right.
smoothie challenge, and so yeah, these are some of the apples that were left over. That thing was so gritty. I think it was all the chia seeds, and then it was the
Right.
peeling from the
Well,
apple.
it is hard to adjust to that type of protein and stuff, but it's good for
Yes.
you. I went through that for a while, and I started becoming anemic, so I had to
Hmm.
learn to get my iron some way. Which I don't like to eat a bunch of red meat, but you got to
Hmm.
eat some kind of iron. And if you take iron supplements, they're really hard on your stomach, but they do make a
Ugh.
gentle iron, but it's not the natural way of adding iron to your body, so it's hard on you.
Mm-hmm.
But
It is.
it's better than being anemic, so I'll eat some beef.
That, that's true. I had a friend that was a vegetarian, and I said, you kind of got to know what to do when you are, and that it's a good thing if you want to be one. That's wonderful,
Sure. Sure.
but you sure do have to know what to keep up in your body, don't you?
Hmm.
You got to eat a lot of beans.
Her
Yeah.
problem was she was very anemic, also.
Right. And once you start dealing with that problem,
Hmm.
like I said, I took some iron. It made my stomach hurt. It's like, my God, that
Hmm.
hurts. I'm not taking that no more. But there is other ways of getting iron
There's
besides.
Absolutely.
Geritol.
Mhm. Oh yeah,
Ari,
yeah.
Geritol.
Mm-hmm.
Can I tell you, Geritol saved my life.
Mm-hmm.
Geritol, you remember that? And you wouldn't remember. You were just a young baby.
What
Mhm.
happened?
Well, you were 5 years old, but our brother was born, and I was 10 years old, and I was just pooped out all the time. I couldn't ride my bike very much. I couldn't play. I mean, not
Low iron blood.
right. Well, no, I'll tell you what happened. So, they had those Geritol commercials,
Right.
and
Right.
I told my mom, I said, Mommy, I think I need some Geritol, and she took me with my brother for his baby checkup, one of his checkups. No, I had walking pneumonia.
Oh no.
So
Oh, I
yeah,
remember
so
you had
between
pneumonia.
I had the walking pneumonia. And so thank goodness, for Geritol commercials, because it made me tell my mom that I was pooped out. And and thank goodness our brother had to get his baby shots, because I would have just keeled over. And one of our neighbors, older gentleman, he actually did that in his yard a few streets back. So
Huh.
I mean, I'm thankful for both of them, Geritol
Sure.
and my brother.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's
Mhm.
pretty. Over on Country Mama today, she was talking about stuff that she said to her mom that got her in big trouble.
Ooh.
And she did what you did, Lynn. I did say in the chat that you had done this, but I didn't go into description.
Oh.
About when we were little, and my mom and dad had one of them picture windows that had the metal blinds, Venetian blinds, but it was
Yeah.
metal. And so they were cleaning those windows. Remember that? It must have been a weekend because Dad was there, and the two of them were cleaning the windows. And yeah, like you said, our brother was he was a newborn.
Mhm.
And we were sitting I don't know if I was on the couch or you were, but one of us was on the couch and then on the chair. And Mom told you to do something, and you just told her the bad F word, and
I don't think I ever
you
said that.
don't know where you heard. Yes, you did say that. And oh my
Not me.
gosh, I laughed because I didn't know what it was. She was talking about things that she said to her mom that she didn't know the meaning of, but she had just heard it from other kids saying stuff. And so
Mhm.
so you're just innocently and you go, well, just mom, just mommy, And I laughed, and then we both got in trouble, but you, I think, got in serious trouble.
Yeah.
And
I
you
know
didn't say
something else I called our mother.
Oh yeah, you were mean to Mom. That's why you have to be the main person to care for her.
That's right.
Oh, you know what? Just a minute here. I want to go back up. I think I just read here
Now Mom is
what
all
I read about. Okay, Shastina said vitamin D3 and K2 vitamins saved her life.
Yeah.
I will say this
Oh,
right now, just as I only for me, not for anyone else. I am I am taking a few extra vitamins
well,
Sure.
I
just to
am.
keep my immune up. And one
Mm.
of them you listed there. So
I'm doing the zinc
I am
and
doing zinc and
vitamin
doing D. Mhm,
and D.
mhm.
I do potassium because my potassium is low, and I also am on the anemic side. I tire out pretty quick, so I do take iron,
You
but
need
it
to
does
need to look into iodine supplement too, because it's something that nobody probably is
iodine.
aware. Yeah, iodine. Uh,
Mm,
I take it because we're getting a lot of radiation from all of our devices, from
mhm.
microwaving our heads all the day long,
Yeah.
and it zaps us. You know,
I never thought about
and
that.
this is the only thing that can fight radiation sickness and poisoning is iodine. And
Mm.
they say it's in your salt. Barely, there ain't enough in there to help you. You
I
know,
don't.
we're
I
all
avoid
we're all
salt.
well, we are all deficient of this one item. But I'm not a
Oh,
doctor, so don't believe me. You
Right.
might want to
right,
do
And that's
your own
we're
right.
just
research.
talking. Mhm.
And
Everybody do their own
I take it.
research.
I take
Absolutely.
it religiously because I'm surrounded by EMF fields all the time, and I've learned to shut everything off every day, every night. When I'm
Okay.
done with this thing, I shut off Wi-Fi. I don't even be around it no more, because I
Oh,
found my ears quit ringing, my head don't feel as bad, or I don't have any problems. But as long as you keep yourself immersed in these, to me, I believe it's becoming almost like a scalar technology into our system here, that's causing us to gain more and more, frequencies against us some days.
wow.
I think we're being, these devices that we love to have around us so much could actually be hurting us very badly. But
Yeah, I do agree, and I think you can see that. You
Mhm.
can see doctors and different people talking
Sure,
about that all
sure.
around.
And look where they've got it, the worst congregation of these devices is hospitals and schools. And we're going to find that, I believe, this is what I understand. I'm not going to give a bunch of conspiracy theory, but this is my observation in the last 3 or 4 years, is that these devices coming from these frequency waves are causing more and more illnesses, causing us to have
It's
more and more
I would
That's
symptoms.
say
very
it's
possible.
yeah. I'd say it's possible. Yeah,
Absolutely. Wow.
that's something
and
that
and people just going completely nuts besides that.
Mm.
Yeah, well, we're in
Eh,
the
eh,
end times, Ari. I think
right,
we're
and if that ain't enough for you to know, yeah, look at Revelation.
we're I think we're really there. The world's
It
kind
feels
of
like it every day some days, but
it does. It does. That's why you have to kind of just keep yourself going, just keep on that narrow path, to
Right.
stay away from all that other. But there's something else that we did not know about you, and I just found out today that you are a chef.
my
Chef. Woo!
chef Pia.
Ooh, Chef Ari. And you sent me a video. And you gonna post this on your channel?
Sure, I just let you have it for
I got the
for your
sneak
show,
peek.
and I'll yeah
Great.
I'll put it out there for people to watch. I'll put
So
both of them out,
yeah, I think
and
you
I'll
should.
put a link to your show and put a link to your
Oh,
channel.
thank
Oh,
you.
Well,
thank you.
sure.
I,
These type of videos I don't do as well with, as far as views goes, as far as the other stuff I put out, but I like doing it.
oh, I think it's great. Let me pull it up here.
You like to watch me cook?
How
Sure,
do you
yes.
how do you say that word, Ari?
Mirepoix,
Mirepoix.
mirepoix.
Yeah.
That's kind of a Louisiana thing, isn't it? Mirepoix.
It's French,
Okay,
and
that's
yeah, the
why.
Louisiana has
Okay.
a mirepoix. The French have their way of doing mirepoix. Different parts of the country do the mirepoix different. But it still
Yes.
has celery, carrots, and onions, basic.
Yeah, the trio. What do they
Right.
call
Mhm,
that?
The
Is that
holy trio there.
holy
mhm.
trio of food? Yeah, those three things. All right, well,
Right.
here we go.
This is for the Ann Lynn Show. Start with the mirepoix, French, chopped up vegetables here, onions, carrots. Don't forget the celery. Or you can use leeks. Gotta get
Or you can use leeks.
steel on the knife or get it good and sharp.
Gotta get
Keep its sharpness. Little cream cherry.
Oh.
Gonna have some roast. The carrots, the celery, and the onion. Little tarragon. Rub some olive oil on the roast. I had a French chef teach me this recipe. I'm sure glad he did because it sure makes the best sauce or gravy. Little garlic, granulated garlic. You can use fresh garlic. Brown the roast on both sides real good. Seals in the juices. Get some more salt and pepper on there. There's my chopped up veggies. The mirepoix. I was told, fix a mirepoix. I'm like, what's that? No, that's just chopped vegetables. You place it in your pan and let the roast rest on these rough or these chopped vegetables so it doesn't stick to the bottom of the pan and it's cooking. And you got the beef base that cooks into it with all the mirepoix, and it sure makes one of the best gravies I've ever made. Of course, everybody that's ever had this recipe, they want more of the gravy, of course, but we already ate it all. This is the best tasting base. Don't forget the cream cherry. Oh yeah, that's good stuff there.
Yeah, pour it in
Just
there.
gives the flavor to the sauce, a real good flavor.
It tastes better than roast.
It smells so good.
Now you'll have to tell us.
Ooh, yeah.
Let me come back to you here. Hold on.
Well, while you're doing that, Shastina said, "A man that can cook is awesome in my book."
Oh yeah.
He
What
has
was that
all
little
sorts
jar better than what? Bouillon? Is that what
bouillon.
it
Yes,
said?
yes. That's I found that's the best style of bouillon base, or than
Okay,
the dry or the others, or the liquid even. But the
right.
liquid's probably the best bone broth. Um, if you
Mhm.
want something quick, this stuff is quick too.
But the better than I've
Hmm
seen that.
hmm
I've never bought it before.
Well, it's
No.
like actual. They've already done what I'm doing is boiling down meal pois in some
Hmm.
and some beef. They also have a vegetable one too. So if you just want to
Oh,
make a sauce and vegetable,
I've made a real good sauce. I like preferring a saucier. I like making fine sauces to go
Mhm.
with the meats and the rices and the potatoes, and all those things are a lot better with a good sauce.
Oh,
So
the flavor. Yeah.
and it all starts with you got to saute some onions, mushrooms, whatever, celery, carrots, get all that flavor in it.
Absolutely.
The cream. Okay, I'm gonna ask you a dumb question. Is the cream sherry, is that cooking sherry or
No.
is that drinking? I mean, I
Yeah,
don't know.
what you find in a grocery store called cooking sherry is a lot of rundown or diluted wine with a lot of salt in it and preservatives.
Mhm.
You might as well go get the good stuff, because
So
cream
that
sherry has got. Oh yeah, cream sherry adds a flavor to this gravy that you just want more.
Oh,
And you'll heat it up the next day with cut up your roast and your potatoes and your carrots and make a stew. It's really really good then.
oh, wow.
yeah,
Well,
I haven't cooked with that either.
no,
So I think that would be awesome.
well, you're not. Maybe you'll not believe this. I've never used tarragon. What does it taste like?
It's a it's a slight licorice flavor, but it's not
Oh,
strong,
okay.
and it's not overpowering herb. But you can taste it if it's in with your meat, your poultry, or your whatever
Okay.
meat you use it with. I found that this makes a perfect sauce, though.
Really?
And
Okay.
oh yeah.
Because I know anise is licorice flavored, and
Hmm.
just thought of something else. But anyways, I know
Hmm.
that that 5 star
Hmm.
Oh,
Chinese
a-
is kind of licorice too, a little bit, because it probably has
Yeah.
that.
anise. Isn't it anise? Star?
Right.
No. Yeah, yeah. I think.
Yes, yeah, star. Yes.
Come on, you
Um,
cooks in the chat, tell us because we're
well, there's yeah, 5 spice. Thank you. 5 spice probably has that in
five
there too.
spice.
Um,
Yeah.
Ari, I want to say what Shastina she said here. My last home was surrounded by too many towers and antennas.
Hmm.
Since moving away, headaches not so bad.
Right.
Ringing has stopped in the ears, and etc.
Hmm.
Trees in the area were dying. Miss my home, but not the waves. That's what
Right.
Shastina had written.
Even in our own homes, we're bringing it into our homes with these modems. They're gonna have Y gig in every little corner before you know it. The only way you can get away from it is to completely shield yourself from it. Sometimes
Yes.
I bought a fabric called Faraday fabric, which it'll block out if you put it over your cell phone. It will, or your smartphone. It will block out the signal. You won't
Yes.
even have a signal there. So
Yes.
I found that if I put it over my head and over my body, sometimes, oh my gosh, it's feel like it's just a comfort blanket almost, and it's so
Where do you
light.
get that at?
Well, you can order it on just look up Faraday fabric.
Really?
Yeah,
I
you
didn't
can
know
make
that.
they make Faraday tents out of them. They make Faraday cages for you. If you
Yeah,
just want
I
a
know
place
about those.
a cocoon you can just climb into and say, your body just kind of goes, that feels good.
Okay. I'm looking
But
it up right now. Okay.
well,
Oh,
Thank you.
me too.
I only did it because I was getting excessive ringing in my ears, and
I have that.
it was causing me the problem of, I wanted to stop it. I don't care what I got to do. And I
Right.
found that the only way I could do it was to get away from my computer, my smartphone, my modem, uh, all technology. For as soon as I turned all that stuff off, even the TV, nothing on. Just go outside, get away from it all.
Right.
And all of a sudden you feel a relief.
Well, that's I'm looking. Amazon has it. Faraday fabric. It's EMIRDIF shielding blocks Wi-Fi,
Right.
RF anti radiation, microwave. It's funny you say that because my microwave is at my head.
Right.
That's
Right.
Well,
radiation
you shouldn't,
protection.
if you got any type of technology aiming at your head, you better find something to shield that area, because
My goodness. I
Wow.
wonder if they
That's
have
really
like a
good to know.
hat.
I bought one big enough where you can just, use it
They
like a
do.
shawl. Like I can drape it over my head. I can wear it
Yes.
and walk around. I use it a lot, but
Okay.
I found that if I lay down even at night and I put it over my head, because I don't have anything on, but there's still something coming in from the satellites, I believe now. I
Well, I
believe we're
have,
getting so much interference that we cannot even find out where it's coming from anymore. And
yeah,
and then they came out and put one of them stupid lights in my yard. I used to have an old halogen lamp up there, an old sodium lamp up
yeah.
there,
Right.
and they
Right.
kept bugging me, wanted to put one of these, you know, uh, the diodes in, and
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't want it. In fact, they come out one day. They didn't even bother to wake me up or nothing. They just come out and started doing it, and they changed it. And so once they put that thing in, it's got a different style of light. But there's a
Yes.
such thing as called Li-Fi. Marv has brought this up. The Wi-Fi or Li-Fi. They're going to use the light systems out here where I'm at to transfer, I believe, these frequencies to wherever they want. Do whatever they want
Well,
with them.
yeah, the internet's going to be the
Internet of
future
everything.
of it is going to
Right.
be just. I think in the next couple years,
It's
probably.
it's going at such a fast rate now that people aren't going to get used to it, and that's where I think people are, coming up with all sorts of problems, mentally,
Well,
physically, everything.
honestly, I think they're just waiting for people our age just to not be here
Kick off
anymore.
this earth. Yeah, yeah,
Seriously.
yeah.
And
Well,
because we're the ones like, no,
mhm,
we're more resistant. Young people are just gonna just go, yeah, this is great.
right.
And it really isn't, it's not good.
I was brought
Some
up
of
in
it.
a time when I drank milk. It was right from the cow. They didn't even go to processing. I was lived on a dairy farm, so we drank
Right.
milk raw. And I was built up a lot of. I hated milk, but that was the only thing I could get protein from at that time.
Well,
Right.
just
And
think up
yeah,
until modern times, for thousands of years, they've
yeah,
drinking raw.
sure. And the raw
For
milk is the only way you're
thousands.
going to get the nutrient and the bacteria level is the only thing that helps your body fight off everything that's causing problems. But
Hmm.
we drink pasteurized everything, diluted down,
Right.
pasteurized, homogenized. There's nothing to me good at all about milk to me
Right.
anymore.
Yeah.
I use
We
it for nothing. I feed it to my cats. That's about the only thing I.
Well, now you
we
still need your calcium. You still need to get
Yeah,
calcium in
well,
you.
I believe in calcium other ways.
Okay. Well,
I
cheese.
kind of like cheese once in a while, but it's still you're
Yes.
using pasteurized nothing. You
Well,
know,
I know.
have you ever ate raw milk cheese or raw food from raw milk?
No, I don't
Nobody
think I
does.
have.
Nobody knows the difference.
Mhm.
If
Mhm.
you knew the difference of the fat level in just one glass of milk, there would be so much fat rise to the top of that
Oh yeah.
glass. And if the more you stirred it, the more curds would show up. So every
Yes.
time I put my chocolate milk in, stir the heck out of it, I'd get all these curds rising to the top. And I'm like, I hate
You
that.
get cottage
But-
chocolate
Yes.
So
cottage cheese.
I'm drinking curdish chocolate milk, but that's the only way I can stand that stuff.
Well, we when our dad pastored in this area that I live in, we had one family that they would bring the raw milk,
Yeah.
and we would take the cream, like you said, it comes to
Mhm.
the top,
Sure.
and that cream for your coffee is
Mhm.
delicious. And then
Oh,
of course you can make butter too, and
mhm.
that's sometimes butter. And then another family, they had goats, and she would bring goat's milk every once in a while. I absolutely loved that goat's milk.
Yeah.
It was so rich. It was like drinking
Yeah.
cream.
I think everybody would be better off instead of spraying all the weed killer on our yards. Just get you a goat, pin him up around there, let him eat your grass and your weeds. Believe me,
Yeah.
that milk that goat's going to give you is a lot better than what you're going to buy in any store,
Absolutely.
and you
Absolutely.
might
So
feel
good.
better.
Yeah.
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 Well,
I mean,
yeah.
I have the ringing in the ears, and
Well,
and
I
I
do.
went for a hearing test. It was about a month or so ago,
mhm.
and I told her about it. That was my main concern. Well, that day I didn't have it at all.
Right. Right.
And she put me in the sound booth and did all the hearing tests. And she, did you hear any ringing? I'm like, no. Can I please? I need to buy a sound booth like she had, because I didn't. It was the first time that I didn't hear nothing, and I can't remember. And it
Right.
was heaven just not to
It is
hear
heaven to wake up.
anything, just nothing. Because most of the time I have that ringing, and then every once in a blue moon it'll quit, and and I notice it because it's just like,
Quiet.
oh,
It's quiet.
it's so
And
quiet. But I
But
and
didn't.
it's yeah.
you know how it feels the minute your power goes off. You know, you've been in that situation where all the electric's gone
Yeah.
and it just went totally quiet,
Yes.
everything.
Yes.
And that's how I was raised as a kid out on the farm. You know, it's like nobody
Right.
has that understanding of what it means to be not immersed in anything but what's around you other than technology. You know,
Hmm.
if we
Right.
don't see it on TV or on the internet now, it ain't real to people. You know, it's like it's real if you get out and just live in it. You know,
Yeah.
but
Yes.
the
Yeah.
minute you start letting somebody else live it for you, yeah,
Yeah. Well, cameraman and I in our we can purchase a state park pass
yeah,
to, every state park in our state. And for a senior it's $25. That is a good
oh yeah,
$25. I
that's the
do
best
not
thing you can
mind
do.
spending
Yeah.
every year.
Do you have a travel trailer or a RV or?
No, we've made a lot of mistakes before
Mhm.
we both retired.
Right,
Yes, it would have been nice to just have that.
right.
Absolutely.
Well,
But we don't.
that's the one of the things I managed to purchase RV, and
Yes.
it's sitting in my barn right now. It's a brand new RV. It's going to be my little campsite down by a lake close by here.
Uh,
I want to capture some of the best sunsets and sunrises are up over a body of water.
Oh
So
absolutely.
yes.
but you know, I'm still scouting out I live around a lot of lakes out here, but and rivers. I'm real close to the Missouri River. I might just find a place out there, but
Absolutely.
yeah,
Well, Major asked a question earlier. He wanted to know, well, first he wanted to know about um, music, and now he wants to know, what your photography passion, how did that come about?
that's just a matter of wanting to take pictures. I've always enjoyed art. Let's just say
Yes.
I use it as an art form. Landscape photography was my passion.
Hmm.
And so, I started like in 1970, I don't know, 5. Bought me a nice 35 millimeter camera and big lenses and all sorts of fun things. And back then it was all film and slide
Yes.
film. And, it was very, definite. The minute you clicked that picture, you had
Yes.
to wait another week to see what you had. So,
Yes.
it was so frustrating some days. I'd take a whole rolls of pictures and none of them was worth a dang. It's like, come on.
Yep.
So I would try again and try. You're looking at photography. What I've got today is probably over 50 years of thinking about art and perspective and photography and all that.
I'm
So once
gonna bring your channel up, okay, Ari?
Thank
Because
good,
you.
I'd like people to be able to that maybe haven't
and to my
not been.
heavily shadow band channel,
Oh.
I've been stuck at the same level for probably a year.
Yeah, well, you're more than us.
I know, but it's like you watch it just grow to a certain level and it stops, and
Well,
nothing changes for a
yeah,
year or more.
yeah.
Well, and I had over 400 hours at one time, and now I'm down to 200 again. But that's how it works.
Yeah.
I'm not in their AI algorithms good.
Well, you have a lot of cool videos out here.
Absolutely.
Well, that's the only thing I enjoy doing really is get up and say, what am I
Look,
going to see today?
you've had over 600 views on this one today.
Yes.
And this was 2 days ago. Now,
Yes.
what was this, Ari? Can you explain to us?
I don't know. It looks like some kind of phenomena that's either moving through the sky,
Yeah, it
but when
looks
you
like.
look at it, some people would call them a sundog, but this thing don't look like no sundog I've ever seen.
Uh,
Uh, Whatever a sundog might be, but
right.
I've heard of them too, but
To me, it just looks like something shining through our skies. And
yeah, this.
I don't think it's in our cloud systems there. I think it's much further out. But it
Wow.
looks like it's not
Uh,
even moving.
Hmm.
But there is
yeah,
something going on. I I don't know.
Absolutely. Ari, have you ever went to like Arizona or New Mexico out in the desert and
Hmm. Yeah.
and sky watched?
Oh yeah. I went and ran some trains one time in El Paso,
Uh-huh.
and it's right there on the border of Mexico. And so the Juarez area. And so here I am running through the desert out there, the high Sierra desert
Yes.
of Texas, West Texas, and you're all in that area. It's just so bright and beautiful to look up the sky. I was just amazed. I wanted to get off the train at middle of night. It'd be midnight. I want to get
Oh
up and walk
yes.
around and look at the stars
Look
because
at that.
you could see the Milky Way just going away. See,
Yes.
I think right here, here's something that's coming out of the sky. It's huge. I don't
It
know how
coming
big it
down.
is. It's
Yeah.
going fast too,
That
but
could be
Yes, it
it
is.
something like a meteor or.
it could be. But
Mm,
I've been seeing so many meteors coming through the sky, and a lot of times, like this temperature, that like I said, the temperatures and the winds blowing on you, you only got a few seconds to get the shot, and so you're trying like heck to get your camera to work, and then it's gone. So
Hmm. Right.
and it's why it looks shaky sometimes, but because the shot, if you don't take it now, you ain't going to get it.
Right.
mhm.
It's
Right.
gone. And believe me, I'd rather sit in the house and go, oh, it's so nice and warm in here. But then I had to look out the window and go, what is that? Oh no. So I had to
Oh,
go put
Oh,
all my gear on and run out the door and go, oh no.
gotta get it. Gotta
I
get it.
look like
Gotta
a wild man out here in the middle of out of nowhere, out staring up at the sky. Nobody else even pays a mind.
look
Yeah,
how beautiful that
there's
is.
that's
nothing.
Just
lovely.
There's nothing there.
Major has some brilliant pictures. He's going to forward them to us. So yes, forward them. So when you're on as our guest, Anne can pull
Right,
those pictures up.
right.
Absolutely. Oh,
let's see where I'm at here.
Now look at
ooh,
this sun. Look at this sunset.
beautiful.
That sunset was sparkling, really beautiful. I just couldn't believe it,
I go
man.
back to it. I saw it. Where'd it go? Yeah, work. It's gonna work its way up here. There,
Yes,
it's coming.
right.
There. Look at that.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
See how that's just, it looks like it's going end over end or something.
Right. When you actually blow it up, there's my music too. Go ahead.
Yeah.
You can see it tumbling. Something's tumbling fast.
Yes, very much so.
But you have to really get it and stop each frame to see what it is. And it's going 30 frames a second, so you get to see it tumbling fast.
Oh, absolutely. Well, someone mentioned it. Someone mentioned earlier something about. Oh! It was about how airplane debris. You know what? From the
Oh.
restrooms. Right. Yeah, someone
Yeah.
mentioned it there. But I was trying to find a picture. Ari, we had our brother here about 5 years ago.
Hmm.
He had a space object, is what they called it eventually,
Hmm.
and it came crashing through his roof.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, and they just had to call it a space object, and he lost his roof. They had to be replaced. All the, it went right into the bedroom,
Did he
and
get to
as it
keep the
came in the
object?
bedroom, it melted.
Oh,
And
he didn't keep the object?
no, it was gone. He couldn't
Never
find it.
found it.
He never found it. But there was water in the bedroom, and they had to completely gut the bedroom. They had to gut. I mean, he didn't. His insurance company gutted his bedroom
He's
and
lucky
repaired,
now.
give him a new roof and the
Wow.
whole thing. And it was just. I have a picture of it, and I was going to try to find it here, and I don't seem to have it right now. But I've kept that picture from our brother, and it's just amazing.
What is that?
I think we got some. To me, I don't know what
Look.
that was.
Look,
There's
Wow.
something behind.
there's two things. I'm gonna go back.
Yeah, there's something
There's
behind
two
it.
things. There's
Right.
something following. Look,
I
look,
thought
look,
it
look,
was
look.
Mercury at first, but
It's
then
moving.
it came. Then it came back
That-
into the picture,
There's an airplane. You see the airplane?
Right.
Look
Yes.
right, or no? Well, no, tell me. Maybe I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I don't know. I
You
tried to
got
look.
something there.
Well, whatever it is, you'll see it bigger here in a second. I'll
Okay.
blow it up. I always show it what it looks like in my point of view in my
There's
camera, which
two
is nothing.
things.
It's a little bitty dot there, and then you have to blow it up and slow it down, and frame by frame, you might be able to see what it is, but it's still very hard to find out what that object is.
And it moves so fast.
And it's
Yes.
and it's who knows how far away it is. You know,
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
I say, I look on the tracker for airlines or airplanes. That day there was nothing there. And I get these streaks across the sky, and then so I'll film it, and then I'll find some object behind it or around it.
Isn't that amazing?
So there's a lot going on that we're not being told somewhere, and I think it's, you know, if it wasn't for people that want to get a good camera and just go out there and try to figure out what it is, you would never see these things.
Right.
Or go out and fight the elements, because believe me, I was up before the sun came up that day, and it was brutally cold, and I was like, oh no, I don't want to go look.
Look, it's
Yeah.
It move. It almost looks like two now.
Well, now you're gonna see it just dance around the sky. But see, I couldn't see it in my camera, so I just held the camera in that area because I knew there was something there, and I couldn't see it no longer, but I knew it was there, so I got it. There's what it looks like blown up.
Oh, wow.
You know, it could be new technology that they're.
Yeah, well, I live 30 miles away from Whitman Air Force Base.
Oh,
Who
okay.
who knows what this Air Force Base has got going on?
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know. I've seen bombers go over, the stealth fighters and stuff go over, and they are hardest the ones to track. I can't even hardly get my camera out fast enough to get a picture of them because they're gone.
Right.
Yeah.
They
And,
go
and
so
when you do
fast.
get a picture of them, you can't even see them because they're that's why they call them stealth. You can't even see them coming and barely catch them as they go by.
Now that to me looks like meteor,
Yeah, well,
coming
that's a
in.
huge object. That is major.
or it
big.
could be space junk
Here's
falling.
another thing. This has been coming around for years, but have you heard of Planet X, Nemesis?
Yes.
You've heard of the Planet
Yes.
X system. This is part of this system coming through, and it's been going around. Have you ever heard of Dave Dobbs?
Yeah.
Well, yes, and Michael around the
Dave
world.
Dobbs has a good computer model that he has tried to model these objects going around and around our sun, this system that it's going around. And he's done the best that I've seen at trying to explain it in terms of astronomy. But I
Yes.
don't agree with everything he says, but I'm sure he don't agree with everything I say either. But
There's
that's the way-
another fella, Gil Bizard.
right. Bill Brizard has been at it for a long time.
Mhm.
I like
Yeah.
what
Yes.
he has to say too. But
Mhm.
I don't think anybody has that big of understanding about the whole thing. I don't care what they say.
No.
Yeah, me included. I only go by what I see and what I put out there. I'm not going to tell you what it is. I don't put names on anything because I just say,
Oh.
"Dear Lord, show me what you want to show me."
Yes.
And believe me, I have some visions. I've had some dreams of these things. It's not just me going, I'm just going to go out there and see what I see. No. If something wakes me up in the middle of the night, I see something like this in my dream. I'm going to get up and see. I'm going to go look for it.
Mhm.
And then I seen one where there's two suns. And so I've been looking for two suns in the sky, a clear evidence of two suns where you're looking at it. And I feel like it's getting close. And then I had one where there was a cross, a golden cross, a big, huge, white, goldish cross in the western sky coming at me. And it woke me up.
Ooh.
Yeah. And I woke up and I had to get up and look out the window just to make sure that
Right.
wasn't actually real.
Wow.
But I have never
Right.
seen that yet.
Well, I'm watching. I'm waiting to see this.
And-
the Lord
and-
come in on a
And
cloud
here's
up
what
there.
here's what
Right.
happens every time I've noticed these objects going around and around. We have more and more volcanoes popping off. Every time I've seen this now for over years. I mean, I've been
Okay.
watching these things for a couple years, 3 years
The
or more.
underwater volcanoes is
Right.
what's kind
Right.
of like, whoa.
Yes.
These things are a long ways off, but they're causing the pressure in our earth to build up and expand, and then we're going to see more earthquakes and more volcanoes as this
Mhm.
system goes away. It's been coming in for decades or more, and it's starting to affect our planet in the last decade, with their temperature rising and the earthquakes and the amount of
That's
volume
pretty.
of earthquakes and volcanoes has gone up exponentially. So
Yes, they
yeah,
have.
and now all they want to do is say it's just global warming.
Well,
When one volcano goes off, it's more crap that's been put out by all of our stuff in 100 years. You know, there's no way it's global warming caused by us.
Right.
This is all the planets in our solar system are going through this though. They're all going like crazy. Venus is so bright. I've never seen it this bright. This is Venus
Mhm.
you're looking at right there. That's Venus.
Wow.
About 30 million miles away.
well,
Venus.
here's what the Bible has to say about these things. It says in the last days, Jesus said this in Matthew 24, for nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in divers places, which means all over the earth. And all of these are the beginning of sorrows. So I think pretty much that's where we're getting real close. We're getting real close. Very close.
And they're putting off more and more rockets, and I don't. They're not going to tell you they're all for
The
satellites.
the space
Right.
station.
Oh my God, there's so many. And here's another thing they're not going to tell you about anymore. They did the research. NASA did the research years ago, back when they was doing the shuttles. But they said, no, these rocket launches don't affect our ozone layer that much. But it does affect it. But they weren't counting on they're going to send up 5 or 6 rockets every month, or every week sometimes, it seems like. Uh, it's eating our ozone up, and it's letting in more cosmic energy, more cosmic, uh, what do you call it? The cosmic.
Oh, the
Anyway,
CMEs? The
well,
CMEs?
everything is causing us to feel it even more. It's coming through
Hmm.
our atmosphere because, and I'm not going to say anything who's causing it, but I'm just saying here's what they're not going to tell you no more because
Yeah.
they quit doing the research on it, or they're doing the research, but they're not going to tell you the results was bad, and it's getting worse. The ozone is being eaten up, and
Yeah.
it's bad with the you mention this to a rocket scientist, they don't care.
Right.
They ain't going to tell you.
Right.
We'll
Right.
just all be
Well,
driving our little electric cars
Well,
someday.
that eats up more coal. All they're going to do is they're going to burn more coal now.
right.
Where's electric come from? Coal factories, man.
Well, they're going to try
More
to.
trains, more coal.
Well, they don't want to use it though. They
Well,
want to
that's what they're
use.
going to do.
Well, they want to.
They ain't
Yeah.
going to burn gas, but they're going to burn more coal, which is worse.
Well, I don't know.
Well, you know what, Ari, I thank you for mentioning that Faraday
Faraday
Yeah,
Faraday pattern.
fabric.
fabric.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Build
I'm going to
yourself a
really look into
Faraday
that.
cage for these end days because you're going to need it. I feel like I need it all the time. It might be just because I'm 67 years old, but I don't know. I'm
I,
feeling it. I'm feeling the effects of a lot of radiation these days.
I think I know Lynn and I have talked. We want to age gracefully,
Yeah.
yes.
but I do think like I think it's harder for us, or I don't know, it's been different. It's harder, I guess.
Mhm.
Like for Lynn and I. Now our mom, she's 91
Hmm.
and healthy
Yeah.
as a
Yes,
horse. She's healthy and and
absolutely.
She
active
was
and
raised on the good foods back then. If she
yeah,
would have as long as about as much as long as we've been eating processed foods, we've been
Yes.
alive almost. And of
Yeah.
course,
yeah.
there was no McDonald's on every corner back when I was
No,
No,
absolutely
a kid. There was no
right.
anywhere to go hardly to get junk food. There was
Right.
nothing but what bought in the store, which wasn't
Hmm.
very many stores. There was no
right.
Walmart. Imagine there was no
No,
Walmarts anywhere. You
no.
know,
No, there was
no
nothing like
no
we
big
went
grocery stores,
we went
nothing.
Krogering
Yeah, well, we
on
went to
Friday
A
night
and
or
Safeway,
P.
right.
Saturday.
We went to
A&P.
Safeway, yeah.
Mhm.
But the way
Um,
they bought groceries back then is a lot
right.
different what we will ever do. It's like my grandmother only went to the store, I think, once a month, maybe, you know,
Right. Right.
and
So I think it is. I think things are so different now that it's like if like our mom at the same age as we are,
Mhm.
was much healthier than.
Oh my gosh.
Sure.
She's much healthier. She's actually healthier than I am, I would
Yeah.
say. For
My dad's
sure.
90. My dad's 90 years old, and he, of course, he drank a gallon of milk, I think, every day, the way he was. But
Yes.
you could see that it's taken his toll on him because he did a lot of work.
Physical.
And
Yeah, physical will do
right, and he
that.
reminds me of what my or his dad looked like when he was his age, or even he didn't make it that long.
Mhm.
But his dad, I used to make fun of my grandpa the way he hobbled around. Now I'm getting to be the same way. So it's like, my God, here
And
I've made fun of my grandpa. I'm going to get it back because
Yeah, I
you
started
know,
saying we have to be
uh,
very careful what we do.
right. I used
right.
to laugh at him. He'd be hobbling across the yard, and I didn't know that 50
Yeah.
years ago later I'd be about the same shape. But
That's right. Barefoot last A&P is where we went also, A&P. And when I was young, I loved we would our mom collected the green stamps, S&H green stamps.
Oh
And
yeah.
and that was a big deal to
Oh,
to
yeah.
lick them and stick them and put them in the
Sure.
books. And
Yeah.
then, get to go and redeem those with our mom. And I think one time she redeemed it for a table and 4 chairs, card
Yeah,
table. and
card
4
table.
chairs.
That's what I was thinking of. The
Yeah,
card table.
I tell you what,
Yeah,
absolutely.
everyone. Mhm.
Absolutely. And Ari, when we were both young, Ann's younger than I am, but we eventually were raised out on a horse farm. And
Right.
that was a lot of time. I mean,
Yeah.
that was good times for both of
Sure.
us, wasn't
Sure
it,
it is.
Ann?
Oh yeah, out in the country. Out in the
Very good times
country.
in the
Mhm.
country, out with the horses.
Right.
I would love right now to have $1 for every horse stall I have cleaned. I would go celebrate. That is the truth. I'd probably go celebrate somewhere. And Shastina, Kmart was our store. And I have to
Oh
tell you,
yeah.
when I was in the military, if I could get to a Kmart at wherever I was stationed, I could get to a Kmart.
Yeah.
It was like being with my family. It was because we went so much, didn't we, Ann, to Kmart
Mhm.
Well, we went
Mhm.
every Saturday night.
every Saturday night.
There you
And
go.
We'd load up in the
You,
car.
you bonded in the Kmart, huh?
oh
Yeah,
yeah,
our
Good
aunt would
memories in
come
the
over.
Kmart. The blue special aisle there.
oh, I would
Eat, get
run. Are
oh,
you kidding? You better get out of my way when that blue light special came
and
on.
and if it was in a special occasion, we got to eat at Kmart's little deli
Got to
restaurant.
take it home. They had subs and shaved ham. You could
No,
take it
yeah,
home.
we'd eat there though.
Well,
Sometimes we'd eat there.
are you thinking of that? Or are you thinking of Kresge's and Woolworths?
No, I'm thinking of Kmart. Kmart had a
Okay.
little. Remember, they
Oh
had a
yes,
little
yes.
in
I
the
take it
back.
back. I stand corrected, Ann.
We could get a hot dog and pudding, get chocolate pudding. It was in a
Oh,
real pretty cup with whipped cream on top, remember? And a
My
cherry on top.
one was going to Sears.
I like
oh,
As a
Sears too.
kid, because they had the what was it, a snack bar in the middle of it or whatever. They had they
yeah.
served the hot nuts and peanuts and cashews and chocolates. That's where I always ended up going to my dad. Dad, come on, we got to have some chocolate. Come on, hot
Absolutely.
cashews. I like the cashews and the chocolates, and malted milk balls. But it's like,
Mm-hmm.
Well,
oh yeah. Plus, I had to go look at all the hardware too. I
oh,
love
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Becky, I am so sorry to hear about your father that passed away
yeah.
in
TG&Y.
2020 with COVID. I'm
Oh,
so sorry. Oh, I
yeah,
guess
don't
I
say
shouldn't have
that.
said that,
Yeah,
but
don't
that's
say that
okay.
word.
With that C word.
Yeah, with the
Sorry.
C.
Um,
Yes.
TG&Y. I'm trying
so sorry.
Yeah.
Goodness, bless your heart. I know that hurts because our father's been gone several years and we still miss him, don't we, Ann?
Very much so.
Very much
Yeah.
so.
Mhm.
And we are blessed to have our mother with us, and we are very blessed. So yes, Barefoot Lass is saying prayers for your family. So we'll pray for you and your family, Becky. So sorry to hear that.
Ari, TGNY. Did you have a TGY?
I was trying to remember what it meant. I
It's
can't remember.
it was the family, and
Right.
Yeah,
they
but
it,
what
it
does
was
it
a.
mean? TGY.
Yeah, I
We
was trying to
had
remember
one
what
in
it
our
stood
town,
for.
didn't we, Lynn?
Yeah, we had one. Yeah, I remember. That was it.
TGNY. It was a family-owned business, and the letters were after their kids, weren't they?
Wasn't there
No.
a five and dime too, or something like that, or
Oh yes, all the five.
Dime store. Mm.
Oh my gosh,
That's
Kresge.
where you got the hot nuts, was the dime store.
well, I went. There was so many of these little shops that would come up around where I was at. We used to take the milk to this little town called McLeod, Oklahoma. They would process the milk. We'd bring it in 10-gallon cans, and so we would haul these cans in of milk, and they would process it and pay the money out to my grandpa, and he'd take us down to this little store, little variety store. It didn't have hardly anything in it, but they had this
Right.
candy shelf, and me and my brother were always like, we got to go for these suckers, because on the back they'd put a piece of tape sometimes says you're a winner or you're a loser.
Yes.
If you're a winner,
Oh.
you get a free sucker, but so we'd always go for the suckers. We'd win a lot of suckers that way. But we
Oh gosh, yes. Ann, I just looked
Yes.
up. You're thinking of Pomida. That was Paul, Mike, and something else.
Right.
Pomida.
Well, I thought TGNY was.
TGY was by three founders. One man's last
Okay.
name was Tomlinson,
Probably.
Okay.
Goslin, and Young. But it was, you're thinking of Pomida.
Pomida. Okay.
Pomida.
Yeah.
Paul,
Maybe
Mike,
they're
and
young in there, huh?
I don't know. But yes, what a great restaurant. Well, I still remember their fish, fish coleslaw and French fries. That was my favorite there at that Woolworths.
Woolworth.
So yeah.
Where was
And
that
I do
at?
miss them.
Oh.
I miss the Kresge's and the variety stores.
You're far enough east where you got a lot more of the the stores that came out, but the further west you went, especially from the Mississippi,
Right.
you're up to whatever. Well, at least down there in Oklahoma, you're in no man's land there for a while.
Though in there in Broken Arrow, the first Walmart I ever saw was there in Broken Arrow because Sam Walton. What was his name?
Sam Walton.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't he was from I'm sure, is it Arkansas?
Right across the border.
But right there at Oklahoma, and that is the first Walmart
Mhm.
I had ever seen. And of course, it wasn't like you think now. It was just in a building. It wasn't anything big, but that was the beginning way back in the 80s.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I would say, pretty much.
Uh-huh.
The end of the 70s didn't have much. I can tell you that.
No, they did. You're right. No, no. So, well, Ann, should
Next
we go
week.
ahead?
Next week we should show who's coming on next week before we've been on for quite a while now. So
Absolutely.
it's been awesome visiting with Ari.
Ari, it's just
Always
been
enjoyed.
wonderful.
Ari's
So good.
I know you've got stories and stories, and
I'll work on some more for you next time.
Oh, please do.
okay.
I do want to ask you one question though.
Right.
If someone were to go ahead and say, "Hey, I'm going to take a train trip from I don't know, Chicago is about the only, I
Mhm.
guess in my area, and it's not in my area, but that would be the closest.
Right.
Do you think that they are worth traveling now? Like, say you want to go out to, I don't.
Sure they are. Yeah.
Are they?
To me, riding on a train is still a nice way to relax. Let somebody else do the driving for you. They're gonna, you take the bigger, the ones that go faster, the Amtrak's, they don't have as many stops. There are
Yes.
some trains you don't want to get on. They're going to stop in every little town all the way from St. Louis to Kansas City if you get on that one.
Oh, okay.
We call it the Missouri Mule. You don't want to get on that one unless you really have to. But
Right.
But from Chicago to Kansas City, that train will get you to Kansas City pretty quick, and on out to LA if you wanted to go that way.
Right.
To me, I wanted to always take a train trip up in the Glacier National Park because that is a very hard area to go through. First off, in a car, I've been through it. The Glacier National Park is one of the most outstanding, beautiful places to me in the United States, but it's hard to get to. It's very far away up there, and then you take a train up through there. It would be awesome, I think. But
Really? Okay. I wondered, what you thought. I'm where we live now. We have no trains at all that come through my city town. It's like a town, but city.
Yeah.
And now where our son, they live about 3 hours from us.
Right.
And they still have trains. And so I always tell cameraman, whenever we go up there, we have to remember to stop at
Right.
train track where it says stop,
Right.
we've got to remember to keep our wits about us up there
Right.
because, I mean,
Well,
they'll have double tracks going.
you might want to, if you don't have any trains running in your city to where you want to go, just look in
Right.
the closest city that do run trains through. You might find one close enough. You can always park and get on that train, and you'll find getting
Yes.
to where you're going is you'll be there before you know it. But
Thank you.
What
Yes.
what is sad is through the town where she's at now used to
Mhm.
be there was a depot there, and every
Right.
little town along the
I
way
know.
had a
Oh,
depot.
every town.
That was the
It's
that
just sad the way they did the whole structure of the railroad to me because I watched many of these depots. Well, they were in use right up to the time that I, you know, uh,
Yes.
at that time, in the 80s, they all of a sudden went to CTC, which is centralized traffic control from a
Mhm.
certain point. And before it was all done every 20 miles, you had to have a man sit there, relay the office,
Mhm.
relay orders to you on a train, So then when that was no longer needed, just railroads just sold them all up, let them board them up or bulldoze
Yes.
them down. There were some beautiful buildings. They only kept a handful.
yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What a shame. I think
Mm.
that's one thing I miss. I wish our father used to go
Yeah.
between a little town about 10 miles from where I live now, and then the other town was about 15 miles, and he could travel. He could travel by rail.
Right.
I mean, and people probably, a lot of people didn't have vehicles, didn't have cars,
To
and,
me,
and so you could
it's
go
worth
by.
it. Yeah. Where else you going to find you a nice restaurant running down the tracks? Well, I mean, they ain't real nice, but it's nice enough to have a nice sit down and eat while you're going
Right.
down the road. And you could even get a bunk if you really wanted to have a little
Right, and
room.
I enjoy watching the YouTubers who
Mhm.
they
Right.
do get on those overnight. They'll do that. Yes. Mhm.
I would like to do that. I think that
I
would
would
be
too.
I
Well,
would love to take a
take you a
train
little
trip.
trip to Kansas City. They got one of the best depots to go in and look as far as museum objects
Wow.
all around. They redid it. I don't know, about 20 years ago. They redid it really nice and inside and out. It has a lot of beautiful artwork all through it. And then you get it if you really want to do the trip, go in Chicago to Kansas City. That way you get to see their big depot. I mean, their big,
Wow.
you know.
Well,
You could
thank
see
you.
their
That
nice.
I mean,
Well, that there is alone is a nice little train trip, but you would get on a train that actually goes pretty quick. You know,
mhm. Okay.
I like
I
going
want to
90
do
mile
the
an hour.
one that goes like out west, the
Right,
one
yeah,
Yes. Yes.
that goes
go
out
through the
west.
mountains.
Yes, I think that would be awesome. Well,
Well,
we need to talk about next week. We have
okay.
another
Let's see what's
Fugel. We have another Fugel on next week. Coming to the next all new live, the Ann Lynn Show, we welcome back our favorite truck driver, Bones. Yes, Bones is going to be back with us. We're going to be trucking down the road with him, catching up, and he will be here on Wednesday, February the 16th at 2 p.m. Eastern. So be here for an all new live, the Ann Lynn Show. I've been following him. I follow him on Twitter, and oh boy, there's a lot going on right now in the trucking
Yeah,
world. There's a
definitely.
lot going. I
Well,
don't know how much
has
we can talk about on YouTube,
right? Yeah,
but,
I
but
know.
there's a lot going on, and I think we'll probably get an update
Well,
from him.
the one thing I don't know why they're not reporting on the railroad situation. Because
Mhm.
they
Well,
handle most of that shipping that comes from LA. They have to take it to the major cities, and then the truckers get a hold of it and take it to wherever. But it's like,
the one
you know,
report I did see a report in it. It was on Fox News, and it was about all the debris that was on the tracks in
right,
LA
right.
because
Oh,
people
yes.
stealing
Yes.
that from the
Well,
parked
that's what happens
Amazon.
when you park trains long enough in certain areas.
Yeah,
Believe me, I was in Chicago. They would swamp your train before you knew it. They would cut open the sides over the tops. They would do whatever they had to do.
Uh,
They're ready.
that's and they were showing that.
You can't stop your train in certain areas, and if you had to park it for many days, like they have been, Yeah, it's just
Mhm.
free. Here you go. Come on and get it.
Yeah,
You
and
know.
people were robbing
Oh yeah.
these Amazon. It was most
Well,
Amazon cars
yeah,
that
I'm
were
sure
full of
my
product.
package never made it because of that. But between that and not getting here from China, I ordered stuff 4 months ago. I know I'm never going to see it.
Well, it could be, yeah, I got taken on the track there somewhere. But
Wherever it's not, it's not my house.
the
But
complaint from the mayor of the city was, there's so much debris out here. And I thought,
well,
you know
here's what
what?
I understand about the railroad is like, if I was still working at this time, I would have
Yes.
said no. I'm not going to take your ultimatum. But that's me. They give these guys an ultimatum like they did everybody else. You're going to have to do this, or you're going to have to quit. So there's a
Oh,
lot of guys that then I know they did. They
I,
retired. They
well,
said,
in New
forget it now.
York, yeah, tomorrow, our governor announced today that the mask mandate is lifted for businesses. Um, they're going to keep it in place, but they're reviewing it for
Right.
the schools and the nursing homes and medical situations.
hmm.
But the businesses tomorrow, I can maybe go to Walmart without one, which will be great. And then what was the other thing she said? Well, that was just under review.
Uh-huh.
But so I'm happy. Oh, and also the uh the thing in the
Yeah.
arm, that mandate is also lifted. So now I'm wondering, all the people that lost their jobs because they refused, if they could get their jobs back. I sure hope they can.
Well, you know what's going to happen? They're going to find out they can't get the ball rolling again if they don't
Right.
put people back to work. That's not going
Yeah.
to take what you were trying to tell them to do.
Well,
Right.
and
And that's
here
all right.
I do have a solution. If I was the president of the United States, I would order the people who are in our jail system. I would be really, I'd probably be in, the people wouldn't like me, but I would be a chain gang
Well,
leader. I would
what do you
have a
mean? Yeah,
chain
they're
gang.
they're going to need all sorts of laborers
I would,
that they're
I
not going
would,
to. They just
I,
let them go.
I would do like they used to do, and I would
Hmm.
make them go and clean up the railroad
Hmm.
tracks.
Yeah.
I'd have some people with protecting them, and but you know what I'm saying. There's solutions to these problems if we would
Hmm.
make people who are
Yeah.
getting
That
free
was that was just
education and
one spotlight on the railroads of that
yeah,
area, but they
in
didn't
that one
show you
area.
in Chicago. They didn't show you in St. Louis. They ain't going to show you what's going on in
No,
New
Right.
York City or New Jersey or any place. It's
yeah,
like,
it's bad, but I would be very hard taskmaster because I would make them, I would make them do stuff. I'd make them actually work and not let them sit where
Well,
they can. But
well,
anywho,
you
where
know what Becky said?
I'm not what Dad used to tell us. But you're not the police of the world.
Yeah,
So
that's what he used
I'm
to
like
tell me. I'm not the
that.
policeman of the world.
Yeah, because
Well,
when you see an injustice, you want to offer a
right.
solution to it, and
Well, I hear something we could do. Becky says we can go on a group train, all of us, meet
woohoo!
somewhere, and have Ann and Lynn Show train meeting.
all
Yeah.
right.
That would be
Woo!
fun. That
Uh,
that would be fun. What we should do is we should plan sometime. Be fun to meet somewhere. Have a
well,
YouTube meetup.
that's what Becky said.
Yeah, I probably couldn't do a train because but we could do a meetup somewhere.
Well, the
Right.
way things are going as far as inflation goes, who knows how much it costs you these days to do
Yeah,
anything. But it's
I
like,
know.
I was looking at a new camera and I don't really want to buy a new camera yet, but I can't believe how much it shot up already in 1 year's time. It's like I could have bought two cameras for the price that I'd had to pay for one camera now, almost.
Yeah,
And that's
but
I don't know whether that's the chip situation, the computer problem, getting
Right.
stuff out of China, or what's going on.
Right.
But all of a sudden, this camera that I like to use has gone up to almost $2,000.
wow.
Yeah, and I spent less than 1,000 for it
Right.
a year
Well,
ago.
everything unfortunately is going up, and watched or saw on news too that the people know that like they're buying more than they used
Right,
to. They're
right,
now
Oh
I don't
yeah.
want they're just when you see something you get it and
right.
maybe get several items you just
I think
and
you
people
need to prep as much as you can prep right now and get as much as you can because you can't go. I mean, I bought 2 cans of meat in the store last time I was there. The kind that'll last for 5-6 years.
Yes.
The Keystone chicken and beef. But it's like you got to do it, but it keeps going up. It's like over $10 for a can now. What used to probably be less than 5 or 4.
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
it's a sight. But so what we got to do is keep our eyes on the Lord, keep grounded. That's we got to
Yeah.
remember
Praise
that
the Lord.
Remember.
he's going to protect us if we believe in him, and I
That's
know
right.
you do, Ari,
Okay.
and we do.
Yeah.
I know we've got Jesus in our heart, and
Right.
many of you watching right now do too. And we just have to remember to stay close to the Lord, because he will see us through all these times, all
Right.
these terrible times, that things that we go in. There's so much that we don't know about.
That's
And
right.
really, it's really good to not know,
Mhm.
and but we just have to know that God's going to protect us. We pray for protection over our families,
That's right.
and God will see us through.
And
There's
he
a
that's right. And he supplies all of our
yes,
needs.
he will. He will.
He
We will
supplies
still. I
everything.
said, man,
Um,
I haven't missed a meal.
no, I haven't missed one.
I'm not.
I need to
And
miss some meals. What are you talking about?
I
huh?
need to miss some meals. I
Well,
know I do, but
and
oh my
you
gosh.
know what? If we do, it's okay, because
Yeah.
we need to miss some meals. I mean,
Yeah.
that's all there is
Right.
to it.
I'm gonna have some more of my chocolate cake. That's what I do. But it's
Oh,
like
that sounds
I
so
Oh,
really
good.
that's
That
comfort now. That's
comfort food. And
we
you
do
know
need
what?
comfort food. Mhm.
And
yeah.
that is what, like if you are going to buy extra stuff, I would do comfort items.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Can you imagine being prepped up for any situation, except you don't have any chocolate or
No.
Oh,
or any sugars that you like to make chocolate stuff with?
right.
You
So
know,
yes, you
yeah.
got to
You
remember,
better make sure you do have some of that stuff you really would like to have one of these
right.
days.
And
Well,
don't forget your hair color.
you know what I think I'll make when we leave here today? I think I'm gonna make some
The world's
banana
coming to an
bread.
end. I need my hair color.
I need my hair color.
It's time for me to do mine. All my gray is starting to shine through in real life.
Well, buy a couple boxes, put one back, right?
Right, that's
You
My,
can't
my
get to
kids
the
have the heart to tell me. I keep telling them my hair is blonde. They go, no, it's gray, but they won't tell me that. But I got a little blonde in there somewhere. But
right. I took our mother I guess 2 weeks ago. She she colors her hair. She wants to look good, and she is a pretty woman. I mean, I know 91. Oh yes, our mom is really a very lovely woman. And but
Yes,
she
she
loves
is.
to keep her hair with color in it. So and
Yeah.
she really looks good, doesn't she, Ann?
the
Yep.
spirit within.
Yep. So,
Right.
but well, anyhow,
Well,
Ari,
anyway,
it has been just great having you back today.
Thank you.
could talk all day, and
Thanks for having me.
no, we could talk all day, couldn't we,
I
Ari?
know.
Yeah.
We can make this into all afternoon, but
That's
I'd have to
right.
get some more stories going for you.
Well, do collect some more stories
Oh, I will.
because we
I'll,
want to have you
I'll,
back.
I'll, I'll give you a tease of one I had back in the 70s. I met a group that is a Grammy-winning group. They went on to be, but I met these guys in a hotel, and I was there staying the night somewhere in the desert out in the Southwest, and these guys come up and tap me on the shoulder. I had long hair and a Bad Company T-shirt on. They was hoping I might have had something that they could have partied with me,
Oh,
and they were stuck there. Their bus was broke down in this town, and so here I meet somebody, and they give me their number in Nashville.
wow.
But I just started playing the guitar then, so I didn't have no concern about wanting to call somebody in Nashville to go play music with at that time. But I
Wow.
met him. But I'll let you know who it is.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yes.
Well, let's see. What is Shastina says? My bucket list slimmed way down now to realistic things like a home, perhaps in a hair color. Yes, got to have the hair color. and deodorants and shampoos, right? But you got to have the hair color.
Ari, you might remember this, but as we were growing up, if we didn't have deodorant, if we ran out, our mother made us make a paste of baking soda
Baking
and
soda.
water.
Right.
People nowadays would go, "Oh my gosh!"
What?
See,
It worked.
I was raised up in with a bunch of boys, so we didn't care about that kind of stuff. You know,
Oh.
I went to school with cow crap on my boots. You know, most of the time. Yeah, there was my aroma for you.
Well, we've got Anne had an aroma going into high school, and we will make that for another
Oh.
day. Let's make that Anne for another day.
Oh.
Let's
Your
make
aroma.
more high school stories. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, I could tell the story real quick, then we'll need to
Okay.
head out.
Okay.
So I was dating this guy, and our mom and dad were building a house, and next door, and to some good friends who had horse farm, and they had
Another horse farm.
another horse farm, and they had a tack room, and it was actually, it was 2 rooms, and it was like a kitchen area, and then they had a bedroom,
Mhm.
and and a bathroom, and it was like on the side of the horse barn. You go into the barn, and then you'd go into the tack room. So while mom and dad were building this house next door, another house, we lived in the tack room, and Lynn was gone. She was
I had an apartment with a
yeah,
friend.
she flew the coop, so she wasn't living at home anymore. And I was in high school, so I was a senior, I guess,
Mhm.
and dating this guy. And then we ended up getting married, and that's the girl's dad, and my girl's dad. And anyhow, after we'd been married, I don't know, several years, we were talking about. I said we were talking about that time when you were dating, and I lived in we lived in the barn when I was dating. I'm like, yeah. And,
You were raised in a barn.
yeah, I was raised in
Yeah.
a barn, and I said, he said, you smelled like horse. And I was like mortified. So the guy said, are you serious? And he goes,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, when I went to senior, then we got done. Let's see, that was for like a whole semester. Because
Yeah.
then after that, then we moved in the house. Oh no, I might have been a junior. But
Mhm.
anyhow, I
Yes, you
smelled
were a
like horse.
junior.
That was
You
the
were a
bottom
junior.
line. And did
Mhm.
not know. So I went around for all that time around my friends and kids, other kids. I mean, that whole time. And he said, just nonchalantly, he goes, well, you smelled like horse,
You
right?
smell like horse and hay, Harry.
I was like,
Yeah.
but then I thought, well, that's not a bad horse is not necessarily
I
bad.
like horses. I raised
I like
horses out here
horses
for a while.
too. So
We like
maybe they thought we lived.
actually, Ari, that was the second time that she lived in a barn. We lived in a barn, a
We
one
did.
bedroom
We lived.
I see a
bathroom.
theme going on here. You like barns, huh? Okay.
We lived in a one room tack room for a summer while our
Yeah,
dad
for
was
summer
built-
while they
Dad
were
built
building another
He built
house.
3 homes, 4 homes. So every time we lived in
in
the barn.
barns.
That's better
But you
than
know,
living in a little trailer or a tent, anyway. But
I don't know.
well, you know what? We were kids, and it was fine. It
right,
was,
Best of
it
times.
all
there's
we're
always
Best
an
of
here.
time.
adventure.
Yeah.
So
That's
that's how we know how to do things, because we had to do it then. We
Yeah.
had we didn't have a bathroom the first go around. We had to use the outhouse, and it was a 2-seater. So we
Two-seater.
could go, Lynn and I could go in there together.
Yeah. Yeah. One
We
had
go
a
in there
circle
together.
and one had a diamond.
Yeah. So you go to the outhouse, whenever.
We had a
And
deluxe outhouse.
yeah, and then we had to warm up water in a pan to get cleaned up with. You had to
Oh, yeah.
wash up, like
We
that.
had a great big
Wash tub,
yeah,
big
about so
aluminum, wasn't it metal? Yeah.
big. Yep.
She could put.
Primitive. That sounds primitive.
We
Okay.
live very primitive. Yeah. That's why I said we know how to do things, right, Lynn?
Oh, yes. And absolutely we do. And Shastina, her bucket list used to be more of a dream list. I know mine was, I'm sure. Today's times, it's changed to help find some peace and serenity for the end times,
Yeah.
biblical or just mine. Laugh
That's
out
right.
loud. That's right. That's right, hon. That's right.
Got to be calm and peaceful with yourself too. Yeah.
And do you mind if all of you, if I go ahead and I just offer up a prayer for Becky losing her father?
Let's do
No.
Thank you. Father, I just bring Becky right now to you, to the throne of grace. I thank you, Father, that you continue to give her peace and comfort in her heart. Father, we know that we miss our loved ones. But Father God, we know when they are with you that they are rejoicing and they are blessed and they feel no pain, Father God. And so I just thank you for Becky. Thank you for her entire family. And just as the days continue, Father God, just thank you for more peace and more comfort in the Holy Ghost. Thank you in Jesus' name. Amen.
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 And you're going to see him again. And that's the
Absolutely.
good thing. That's a good thing. You're going to see
That's
him
right.
again.
And Major, I tell you what, those colonoscopies are just like having a party. Not. He's had a party. He's had a party.
Well,
Major,
hey,
why didn't you invite us to your colonoscopy party now? That was pretty stinky of you, Major. That was pretty stinky and foul.
The prep for those things is, I mean, that's the hard part. Doing the other is like a breeze. But yeah, they put
when
you
you're
to
knocked
sleep
out, you
here.
don't care what they do.
Well,
It's the prep. It's the
yeah,
prep.
the prep is the terrible part.
You had a great party.
If you can survive the prep,
Well,
hey, you're
I have
pretty
to say
tough.
this. I have to say it. Ari, cover your ears. I'm sorry. Major, were you a party pooper?
It's all about the poo again. We're back to the poo.
Every party has a pooper.
Every
Major
party
was
has
ours.
a pooper. Well,
We love you, Major. You know that.
Yeah.
Oh, bless your heart. That's terrible. Bless your heart.
They don't put you to sleep in England. They put you to sleep here.
Yeah.
You just go right to sleep and then you wake
It's
up.
really
and they
not a
tell
bad
you,
procedure here anymore. Not here at all.
No, just the
Yeah, you get feeling better. Get feeling better, Major. You're going to be our guest in, well,
when did he have this? When did this happen?
I think it was today.
Oh, he shouldn't even be talking to us. He should be asleep.
Well, maybe it was yesterday. Major is going to be here on March the 9th, which means about a month from now. So you know we love you. I'm just teasing, Major. Please don't be offended. You know, don't poop out on us. Come and be our guest.
Oh, colonoscopies are fun. Just
That's
as
right.
much fun as the EDG when they down your throat.
Oh,
I've had
wow.
many of those, both. So
That's right.
Anywho,
well, Ari, it's just so fun. Thank you for hanging out with us today.
Love
Two
it.
grannies.
Well, thanks for having me.
Oh, we love you,
you're a
Ari. You are a blessing. You are
Wish
a
we could have
blessing.
known you and we could have been riding those rails together,
No.
and I and you going across the country. Oh my gosh.
I've met another person. There's another story. See, you just think about these things on a train. There was another guy I met out of New York. He was coming out of New York. I met him coming out of Chicago when I got on the train, but he just got out of playing with a group, The Doors, in Saturday Night Live. You know, he was all pumped up. He was hyped up so much. I was like, "What's your problem, man?" He was in the smoking car having a cigarette, and the guy was just going off the walls. And he goes, "Well, I just got through playing New York City with the Doors." I'm like, "The Doors? Well, they ain't been playing in a long time, man. What are you talking about?" But that's that's how it is out there on the road, you know. Never know who you're gonna meet.
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
Well, on that note, we will say goodbye to you, sir.
Yes. Yes.
We'll see you next time.
Yes.
All right. Hey, make us another meal so that we can show another great meal.
Yep. Throw them on your
channel. You want some Mexican food?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Any day.
Yeah, I worked in a Mexican restaurant there. You was around that area. Do you remember a place called Chimmy's?
Yes.
Do you?
Yes.
No, I don't. But Ann,
Well, that place there is where I got my as a kitchen manager and learned how to cook a lot.
So you got that. You know how to do that.
And supposedly that restaurant was a star-rated restaurant. So, that just means
you're swamped on Mother's Day and Father's Day and every other day on the weekend. I worked so hard.
Oh wow. Yes.
Mother's Day is the probably the busiest day in a restaurant because
Yeah.
that restaurant said, "Bring your mommy in; she gets to eat for free." And
Yes.
so, yeah, I bet I served so many mommies in that day for a few years.
Oh, well, you have to make some more cooking videos and post these on your channel. That would
I
throw
might as
your
well.
that
Yeah.
that might move your traffic. They'll go, "What is he doing now?"
It'll change the AI rhythms a little bit, but
What you should do is start out with the sky, right? Like
mhm,
something that you see in the sky. In the
right.
middle of it, put your cooking video. And all of a sudden, they'll
But
be watching this video, and then you'll
see,
be. And,
I'm more of the Julian Child, way she liked to cook. She was always
Yes.
so animated, and the guy
Yeah.
down there in Louisiana, I forgot his name now, but
Oh, I know who he is.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
no,
I guarantee it.
the
Dante, yeah, what,
I guarantee it. Yep.
those are the kind of animated cooks I like. If I want to make a show of it, I would be like that kind of. But
you should do it. You should do it. And
you
I
know
would
how
the
hard
first.
it is to work. It's hard to work to do kitchen work.
Oh,
And
I
then you
know,
got to
but
do all
boy,
the cleaning and prep. I'm doing it
the
all.
prepping for it
And
again. The
then
prepping is the hard part.
and then the camera work. You're trying to hold me. I'm trying to do one armed cooking is hard.
But you don't have a stand you can put your.
Well, I could have, but when you're trying to peer into a pot and then move
Oh
it back,
yeah,
and yeah,
yeah.
Oh,
I'm just
Mr. Wilson. His name's Wilson. Justin Wilson.
Oh, the
right,
Cajun
right,
cook. He was
right,
The Cajun cook.
the
Oh,
Cajun
we used
cook.
to watch him.
and he liked to drink that wine a little bit.
The
Oh, we
Cajun
watched
cook.
him.
We watched him in the Galloping Gourmet.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's right.
Oh, yes.
The
I read a
Galloping
lot of
Gourmet.
what was that book? The cuisine books. Oh my God. Well, anyway, you read cooking magazines for a long time if you're in the cooking business. So I've
Oh,
picked up so many recipes over the years. It's like crazy.
Well, we want to see a Mexican dish. That'll be
Oh,
yes.
great.
all
A
right.
Mexican dish. Okay.
Olay.
Oh, yeah.
Olay!
Taco.
Well, Ari, we're going to send
Sorry.
you out with some granny kisses.
Yes.
What did you say, Lynn?
I said taco. Olay.
Yeah. All right. Ready, Lynn?
I'm ready.
Ready.
Ari.
Bye, Ari. We'll
Bye.
see you again
Bye.
soon. Bye. And you
See you
will be
later.
back. Yeah, we want you back.
Yes.
Okay. Bye.
Oh,
Aw.
wow. What a wonderful time.
Yes.
Ah,
Wonderful
thank
time
you
with
all
Ari.
for staying. So many have stayed with us today. We've had a
Yes.
longer show, but wasn't it awesome having
It
Ari
was
here, everyone?
yes, I just love him. He's so interesting. He's just,
Absolutely.
he's just very, very interesting fella. And so please, if you haven't already, go over and subscribe to
Right.
Ari_55. You saw the channel, go back, let's see. Let me drop it in here. ARY_55. That's all it is. You just look right there, Ari_55. Then you can subscribe to his channel,
Yes.
please.
Yes.
That would be
You will
great.
enjoy his channel.
Oh,
Absolutely.
for sure. For sure.
I guarantee it.
You guarantee. You
I
guarantee.
guarantee.
Yep. That's what that old chef used to say. I
Oh,
guarantee.
yes, he's very cool, Major. He's very cool. He's
Very
a cool cat.
cool.
He's
Very
a cool
cool.
cat.
I wish we were, closer together. That would be fun to hang out and just hear
Yes.
all these stories. Well, you guys, thank you for being here today.
Thank
Yes,
you.
it's been a wonderful day. And we're going next week will be great. Bones, our truck driver,
Bones is
will be
here.
back. I think we're gonna have a lot of truck stories next
I
week. Well,
I imagine.
yeah, I'm sure because he's keeping up on everything.
And just under a month, which is like, we'll have the Major here all the way
well,
from
let me tell you,
London. Yay.
on the 23rd of the month, we're gonna have a special show at 7 p.m. with Blue Farm. BLUE Farm, Blue Farm. It's
Wow.
going to be their new couple, and they are homesteading, and we are going to get to meet them. Our book is really full. March is
Shastina,
full.
the famous lady cook that with the accent was probably help me out, Ann.
You think it was Julia Child?
Julia Child. It was
She did
probably
the French
Julia.
cooking. We have one of those gotta say it quietly, Alexa machines. I don't want mine to say what.
Right.
If you listen. And we play a game every day with the question of the day. And
Mhm.
one of the questions we had here this week was the name of a famous French chef. And we got it wrong. It was a man who brought French cooking to
Oh,
America. It was a gentleman, and I forget his name, but anywho, yeah, so you never that
oh,
thing we play question of the day every day.
Major.
Keep
That's a different Major. Blue means something different here. Blue
Blue
means
Farm,
color.
their last name may be Blue. I'm not
Right. But I know where the Major's coming from. I no Major. No. Homesteading.
this is a clean family friendly channel,
Yes. Yes.
and so we try to keep
I've
it.
got so many questions to ask you, Major. I've been thinking about so many questions I want to ask you because our language is different between here and Great Britain. We have different words mean different things, um, a lot different things.
A
So,
lot
uh,
different. So
right.
we will try to straighten that out when the Major is on the show. Now, we do want to wish you a happy Valentine's Day. It's coming up on Monday. Don't
Yes.
forget your favorite Valentine. And I guess I have a secret admirer who left this in my mailbox. I hope I can find out who's left it for me.
Yes, she
It's
has secret admirer.
Yeah, it was in my mailbox this week on top
Wow,
of my
that is so
letters.
cute. That is
It's
really cute.
adorable. So I had it on my refrigerator. I'm going to put it back there. I don't know who gave it to me. I don't know. Maybe the mailman likes me. I don't know.
No, I think it's the sweet little neighbor.
Little fella that lives across the street could
Yes, because
probably
you're
is. Yeah.
always, you two are always Christmas or something like that. So
Yeah,
yes.
they have sweet children. We like
Oh,
the
thank you,
kids.
Major. You can be our Valentine this year.
Okay. So y'all have a wonderful Valentine's. Catch us on I'm going to put it in here in the chat.
Okay, we will be a guest Monday. We are going to be guests. Can we? Wow, Ann, isn't that going to be fun?
It's going to be over on Country Mama Musings YouTube channel. We'll be there at 2:00, and
Eastern time.
she's so much fun. Alicia, her name is Alicia.
Yes.
She's so much fun.
Country Mama Musings.
It's in the chat. I just
Right there
wrote
it
her
is.
name down
I
there.
see it.
So you want to make sure to catch us over there on Monday. I think it'll be a lot of fun. So
Yes.
I know it will be. So you guys, thank you again for coming.
Yes.
I got to get my videos all ready here. I'm ready now. And we're going to send you out with some granny kisses. See us come back next week.
Yes,
Same
right here.
time. Yep. And we'll have Bones on here. Okay. All right.
Okay.
And Barefoot Lass, I challenged her to the Go Green Smoothie
I
Challenge.
know. I
So
know.
Barefoot Lass, you're next.
Challenge.
And anyhow, we're going to send you out the granny kisses.
All right.
Just stay close to the Lord, you guys, okay? God loves you.
He
Ready,
really
Lynn?
does. And we love you.
Yes, he does. And we do too. Ready? 1, 2.
Mwah.
Bye. Bye now.